Wait. All right, but all right. So where we were is that we were beginning to enter orbit for the planet where we were going to get involved. So the lore dump, I had a couple things that were thrown into the locations. So the planet that we are actually approaching is called
Whoa.
Lades. Hmm.
What's a planet?
Planet, planet. I'm from the south.
Meh.
That's just how it is. So the planet that you are approaching is called Lades. It's a dry desert planet. We went over this last session of its population is about 14 billion. So they do have I'm just going over this again because we have a new person. So it does have hive cities, but they're not traditional hive cities that grow up. They're instead spread out over vast amount of land. On this planet in particular, there's only four major cities. So there are some smaller ones, but there's really only four, and each city numbers in like the hundreds of millions. It's just jam packed. But the cities are essentially like basically self governing, and they're run by powerful families that are basically running the planet. So as of right now, there is a domestic civil war going on between the current governing family, who's their household, uh, what their what's the I can't even remember the name of it. The head of their household is the current governor. And there's another rival family that makes claims that the governorship was taken from them and they were wrongfully killed, whatever. But that's what their argument is. And it's essentially just a dispute over bloodlines and who should technically be running the planet. Now, with the current actions, the Imperium is actually not going to intervene because they did have some articles that were drafted under a peace agreement that was about 1,500 years ago when the planet joined the Imperium. So, as it stands, with the domestic wars, both civil or otherwise, it doesn't really matter if it's like a civil war between rivaling families or if there's like an insurrection or something. It's supposed to be handled by the local government. Until it's proven that the war happening is affecting the tributes that this planet is supposed to be paying to the Imperium, which the three tributes that they are in charge of is currently precious metals, either raw ore or processed metals, weapons for the Imperium, or soldiers. So those sent by the planet, as long as they're not affected, or if there are showing that any of the parties are involved with acts that are deemed heretical in nature, or basically is that so something like that would be like hiring or conspiring with Xenos forces or even chaos or heretical forces. So like if there's like specific like signs of a cult, or if they're hiring, mercenaries from the Tau Empire, stuff like that, that's definitely something we would intervene on. As it stands, the Civil War has been deemed for review by the Inquisition, and that task has been assigned actually to Inquisitor Thaddeus. So Octavian isn't even actually overseeing this operation. Thaddeus is actually going to be going
Oh,
planet side with you guys because
What?
he needs to personally speak with the governor. So Thaddeus is the Inquisitor
oh,
who is under Octavian. So
Uh,
Well, that makes justifying the Space Marines easier. They're bodyguards.
just just an Inquisitor rolling around with a kill team, I guess. Um, But so as it stands, they want to review it. So you guys are being dispatched there at the moment. So it's kind of weird because Thaddeus wants to personally talk with some people and check into stuff because over the last 1,500 years, we've had this one particular family called the Keldentans. They have been the ones who have been governing the planet, and their prosperity, like their like influence and power has increased significantly over the 1,500 years. They have continued to remain the dominant family. They have continued to amass vast amount of wealth, and the Inquisition finds that strange. Particularly Thaddeus finds it strange. There have been numerous Imperial agents dispatched to review all the records and make sure that all the tributes are coming across properly. Because the thing with the tributes is that they were not established. You know, it wasn't like I'll give you 5 goats every year or something. It was a percentage. So if they keep increasing in wealth, then technically their tributes should be increasing coincidingly. And
Should we consider these people heretics?
as of right now, no.
Ah.
This is definitely a moment where this planet provides enough metal and weapons and ore and humans to this side of the galaxy that they're really needed. So if it comes to the point where we have to take out the government, we have to be able to establish another governor almost instantly and make sure that the peace on this planet is sustained.
I could do it.
The priest is going to run the planet.
Is it that hard of a stretch?
It's not, but so Thaddeus wants to check the records. He wants to speak with a few of the Imperial agents that had done the inspections because a few of them still live on planet, and he wants to see exactly what's going on if there is something shady. And if there is, they'll be fined heavily probably, and that's about it. But right now, the authority is basically if there's nothing heretical and there's nothing risking the tariffs or the tribute they have to do, that you're just supposed to sit back and let the engagement happen. Now, if you're engaged, if they open fire on you, you're free to deal with them how you please. But with this, the bottom line is, and the Inquisition has said, is that you can freely investigate and find out both sides, and whichever one guarantees the tributes, that's the side the Imperium wants to go with. So if the opposing side has claim to the governancy, then cool. But if they can't guarantee that we get our tributes, then we're not siding with them. So that's where we're at. With that, unless you see something Xenos or heretical chaos, definitely if you see any kind of like outside mercenary groups or anything like that doing smuggling operations, you're free to do what you need to. Just as long as you run it by Thaddeus while he's in the area of operation, you're pretty much good to go. But you have free reign to essentially take a look at whatever's going on.
Okay, so as long as it's not green and or have tentacles, don't shoot until shot at.
Yeah, is essentially what it is. It's a very high populated area.
As my armor has green, I also prefer you not immediately shoot green.
If you don't have tentacles, you're fine.
Now, the salamanders were actually present 1,500 years prior during the... Oh. So what had happened is that the Keldentans and a few other families were wanting to get into the Imperium, and then the opposing family that is claiming that they have right to the governorship, they did not. They wanted to be free, and they were going to make treaties for trade and stuff with the Imperium as opposed to becoming under their rule. So with this happening, I think the Keldentans essentially took the majority of the families, formed their own government, and then basically said, we're the planet, we represent it, and then signed a treaty with the Imperium. When that happened, the other family rebelled, and the Salamanders sent in 15 tactical marines to essentially deal with the situation. Now, the Salamanders didn't handle it with an iron fist. Essentially, they only had to kill 150 combatants. So, pretty good, surprisingly. They didn't engage anyone. No civilians were killed. Essentially, they just met them outside one of the major cities, and 5,000 units attempted to kill the Salamanders, and Salamanders killed 150, and that was it. So the Salamanders are respected, to an extent of lore, because another one hasn't set foot on this planet since then. So, with that being
about to change.
Yeah, with that being said, the Salamanders, there might be some people who might see you as a demon. There might be some people who see you as like some angelic warrior. So you just keep that in mind. But yeah, that's the situation though.
Why do these people think they wanted freedom? They had freedom from heresy.
That's right.
Just wondering, what exactly am I allowed to arm my squad with?
Cake.
Yeah, that's something I wanted to ask, by the way. Is the requisitions for the Space Marines each or by just for the squad in general?
So yeah, to make it easy for the Death Watch, normally I just do it's the whole squad has this amount of requisition for this mission. So for this mission currently, as it stands, it's going to sit at 25. We are not expecting a lot of resistance. Now, granted, if you go to the fire base and like where the Krieg are, if you go to the fire base and you find out that you need to attack an enemy position and stuff, you'll just contact the ship and Inquisitor Thaddeus would adjust the requisition from there. So like it's going to be 25 because you really are only supposed to go down, establish your safe house, talk to the governor and his people for a little bit, and then take a look around. But if you are needing like that, if you're like, hey, we have to blow up a fortress because we know for a fact people are smuggling weapons there, it's like, okay, that will adjust to like 125 or something. It'll adjust based on information coming back to the ship. And then as far as the equipment for your squad, so like what's the most rare thing that you're trying to grab them?
Fire spawn.
Well, I just kind of wanted everybody to. I didn't want everybody in like fucking carapace armor, so I was just gonna give everybody.
No, so they all. Well, I mean, they can all start with the stormtrooper armor.
Well, I don't want them in the stormtrooper armor.
Oh, okay. So what did you want to give them?
I'm trying to blend in a little more with like I guess like the mid-level mercenaries and just put them in normal like flak armor.
That's
Because this seems more typical, and I was gonna try and arm everybody with a like a las carbine, so that way they can kind of hide it if they need to, like tuck it away somewhere, because it's not as large as a normal las gun.
What about
the most
Ogre?
important, the Ogryn? He was the one that I was going to ask for something a little more rare.
Now,
is it possible to get a power fist on an Ogryn?
No, not for him. Now he.
Hey, it's possible. He just might break it.
That's true. Now Oak, he specifically enjoys using grenade launchers. So he likes using a club and he likes using grenade launchers. That's what he specifically uses. But if you want him to use something else, he can.
So, okay, if he likes using clubs, can I give him a great weapon and just say it's a big ass club?
Yeah, so I guess what I can do for that, I guess that would just be what? 1d10 or something?
It's a great weapon's 2d10 rending.
Oh, yeah. That's that Claymore though, isn't it?
No, that's just all great weapons.
Really?
Just change it. Just change it from R to I.
Oh wait, I was thinking of tearing for a second. I'm like, why would it be tearing? But you said rending. My bad. Yeah, that's fine. You can give him that. That's perfectly fine. I was wondering. I was like, why would it be tearing if it's a club?
Because my idea with Oak is, if I'm being completely honest, the only time I'm going to use him is if I need somebody to like run through a brick wall and just start beating the shit out of people.
I mean, he like same as the Space Marines. Sometimes just being there is intimidating enough. So as of right now, what it is that essentially Novus would be giving the rundown to Zevin and Guy, explaining everything to you guys, like we're in orbit and stuff like that. And then Charlie Squad, you guys would have been notified of the, librarian, Ishmael having to be relocated. Essentially he's needed by his chapter, so he's going to be leaving. At this time, Lucian, it would be you and Zendalius and your squad kind of talking about what's going on, while Pyzel and Boris were talking to Octavius in the hangar. So at the moment, Novus would walk in and introduce, Guy and Zevin. So you would, at this point, you guys are essentially just walking with a captain of the Death Watch, and he leads you into a side room. Goes, well, brother, is it Ulbrich? that right? Am I pronouncing that
Oh.
right? Ulbrich?
Ulbrich, yeah.
Brother Ulbrich. And brother, where's your last name? Where are you?
He does not have
You don't
one
have a
written
last-
down. I will write.
No,
I
you
will.
don't.
I
You
will
don't-
roll a random one.
You don't have
Am
to
I the
have
only
one.
human? Am I the only human here?
But, I mean, Lucian has always been a human.
I'll roll a random one because I didn't think of that.
Superhumans are humans too.
Lucian's not seen as human, and he's an NCO.
Sorry, I got mixed up. I mean, who's a Astartes and who's not?
Yeah, it's yeah. So right now
Like
it's
a
Zevin, Guy, and Octavius. So that's K Thor, Flint,
It's the
and
two of us. right?
Doc Mad Fox.
The
Yeah,
two
so right,
NPC
I'm trying to get
stories.
I'm gonna try to get a sixth player. I was gonna see if I could get another human. I just some people
It's fine.
it's taking a
but-
minute.
I could talk to a friend
People
of mine.
don't-
I don't know if they'd be interested or not.
You don't
though.
have a friend.
Yes, I do.
Got all the friends. You shush, Jay. All right. So
I have one.
I believe it. That's fine. But so as you so Novus would essentially introduce you because this is brother Vizel and brother Boris, Tech Marine, apothecary respectfully. Those gentlemen. Oh, and I forgot. Our newly repaired Devastator. You know, he tonks he just knuckles your chest piece. Goes, this is Octavius. Goes, these are the new ones. Brother Zaven and Brother Ulbrich. Templar, Salamander. I believe
Brothers, small ones.
I'll just nod.
Also, I'm looking through this, and so many fucking salamanders only have one fucking last name. They only have one fucking name.
Is it
Hashtag
Roberts?
NPC.
So
No, they only have one name, no last name.
it's fine. You don't have to have a last name. I just wondered. It's not a requirement. But at this point,
I'll think of one later.
yeah, no problem. So at this point, yeah, Novus just kind of introduces you guys. So, out of character, is there a player that's a Space Marine that would want to be squad lead? Right now, it has defected to, or whatever the word is. The apothecary NPC
Defaulted.
has defaulted, has taken squad lead. But if a player wants to attempt it, I'm fine with that.
I mean,
So I'm likely, if combat happens, I'm likely going to be taking solo mode a lot. So
I am the spiritual liege here, so if
You
You-
can't
You're
be
you're
in
not the
charge of-
spiritual liege. That's different.
You can't be in charge of Space
Well,
Marines. That's a bit.
That's not. That's a different thing. That spiritual liege is a different thing.
yeah, spiritual liege would be the emperor, right?
No,
Then I don't know what you're talking about.
Chaplain.
I'm the
Um,
close.
spiritual.
I am technically a chaplain in sense of military
No,
chaplains. Not the same thing.
no,
No, I'm not talking about the
No.
Astartes rank.
no. It's also
he's-
not
you're
that.
talking about the
Spiritual liege is the highest member and most respected member of the chapter.
Yeah.
So for the salamanders, that'd be Histon.
All right. So, well, we're getting off that. So, did a player want to be the commander of the Space Marines?
I'll do it.
I mean, yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
He's not a space marine. He can't be the commander of the space
Hey, it's
marines.
happened before.
Hang on, hang on.
What? So,
I mean, I will reluctantly accept the responsibility thrust upon myself with the 40 Fellowship.
all right. Well, so as that is, Nova says, "All right, by deemed in the Imperium."
I actually have a higher fellowship than that. I'm just gonna be in solo mode a lot. So
I mean, that's fine. Like,
not as-
being squad lead does not mean you necessarily have to. You don't have to worry about fellowship unless you truly have to argue with someone and command them. But it just means that you have say on stuff tactically and what the squad should do. The Space Marines have had significant training. There shouldn't be an issue where they go crazy against you. That just shouldn't happen.
A librarian's word carries weight.
Well, yeah. So
but
Kathor,
typically their second in command is the
I can
thing.
incite entire
yeah,
town full of
that's what I
people
was
to
going to say.
riot.
So right now, Kathor, so Devastator Octavius is now squad lead. Second in command would fall to Librarian Zevin. and then third would fall to the Apothecary Pyzel. So the reasons for that is that Octavius took the acceptance of squad lead, and the Librarian falls to second rank, and Pyzel would go third because of seniority. So what that means is that Octavius, you are now in charge of the Space Marine Task Force Epsilon. So all 5 Space Marines are under your command. With that, also all the Imperial Guardsmen under that task force are under your command. So I would
I'm not
say
a guardsman.
you are attachment to the Guardsman squad. So
But I'm not officially a guardsman, so I can always just walk away.
So right now, definitely I would say don't micromanage the Guardsman. That's definitely not what a Space Marine
That's
does.
my job.
Yeah, you tell you tell Lucian what you
die
need.
on their own just as well.
Yeah, you delegate. It's like you tell the librarian to go do what he needs to do. You don't micromanage. That's essentially what it is. And then if you need the guardsman to do something, you just tell Lucian. So it should be those classic moments of you looking at Lucian and saying, "Hey, we need scouts," and then Lucian yells at 2 horrible bastards in the back that are fast, and they come running up, and that's how it goes.
Why can't I remember who Lucian is?
That's me.
That's him. That's the player, Lucius.
I mean character-wise, because weren't you the Commissar and you stopped being a Commissar?
No, that's Dak.
Oh,
No, that was
Stock.
Silas.
Yeah.
I'm offended.
Lucian's
Then I don't
the
remember
drop
who
trooper.
Lucian was.
He's the drop trooper.
I think he's the sergeant.
I was the most effective human on the battlefield. That's who I was.
I gave you bonuses.
The commissar got 3 shots. The commissar got 3 shots, 3 kills, and then ran over someone with a tank.
And I gave all of you
Beautiful.
pen 3.
There you go.
I actually didn't factor that in.
Yeah.
Hold on, I was keeping track. I got 13 kills.
And I gave you
Yeah,
rerolling damage.
Tank,
Yeah, I also forgot to do that. But did you run over anyone with a tank?
I'll make up for it this time.
The
No, I
priest
ran
flew
over
off
people
a
with my
tank.
face.
With your face? What does that mean?
I blew up a tank.
He did fly. Yeah, the Kathor
Yeah, that's what
and
this
the priest
character's
flew off the
designed to
tank.
do.
Like, I know the Devastator appreciated the rerolling.
Yeah, that saved him with the Sentinel. All right, so with that, you guys are entering orbit. As you enter orbit, basically at this time, you guys were allowed to go ahead and kit out. So, Lucian, whatever you want your guys to have, you have access to their sheets. You can throw it on there. You're good to go. Some of them already have stuff. I know the Tech Priest has an Infernus pistol. Probably going to want to keep that with him.
No, he's getting a las pistol.
No, use this. Leave that here. But
Should I bring my bolt pistol? I never use it.
I mean, that's up to you. I mean, if you ever feel like you're going to be in a moment where you can't charge.
Well, if I have to pick you up and drag you or something like that, keep the pistol there so I can take it from the holster and use it.
So I would like a jump pack, but I don't think we can manage that with only 20 requisition. That'd be like most of it.
Yeah.
You can give it to me.
No, it's too big for you.
I will find a way.
I'll find a way. All right.
I think we have an orc in the party.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's because the initial stuff, until you guys actually make landfall and start getting eyes on the situation, you really don't like. There's not really necessarily anything you need a requisition because you're not supposed to be engaging.
Grab shoot, so I can halo drop.
Not halo dropping in friendly territory. What's wrong with you?
My int is 23.
Let's take a covert insertion drop pod.
No,
you have
just,
permission to land. It's like
you asked what's wrong with me.
It's
I
every
said
time.
int 23.
Every time it's gonna be like we got to make a combat landing, and it's like
Jesus,
you guys are
that's
allowed
small.
to be here.
I know.
All right. So So at this point, the Arbinger is in orbit. I'm gonna switch it over so you can you actually have a city map you have access to. So you guys should
Open
be
the
able to see
hatch. Let me
that.
jump.
So it is near basically a large mouth of the ocean. There's a salt sea that's there, and then there's a freshwater river that passes through. There's a few water basins that they have in the city to make sure that the city has, fresh water. This is the capital of Denopson.
Oh wait, real quick, can I roll something before we leave?
Sure. What are you rolling? What are you rolling for?
Rolling to add a custom grip to my force sword.
Yeah, could I just borrow a grav shoot?
I mean, you could take a grav shoot. You're just not
Just
going to
real
need
quick. Just real quick here, just because as soon as that hatch opens,
it. Well, it's you guys haven't even.
Do I have
decided.
this set to only? Do I have this set to only send to the GM?
maybe.
I don't know. I see it.
Did-
3 degrees of success.
did you
I don't know
see-
what it's for.
Yeah. Do you guys see
No.
the roll?
We'll see it.
Then yeah, I did. It's to add a custom grip to his power sword.
You mean force sword, right?
Force sword, yes.
Yeah, it's
force
much
sword.
better.
Yeah, it is.
Can I have it?
No,
Okay.
it would literally be
It's not.
worse in your hand.
I know.
Yeah, that's fine. All right.
I
So
could
yeah,
have the
but you do have it
technical
set
tips to
for.
it, but-
You do have. Well, yeah, that's the thing. If you have the text to it, you're not. Well, I guess it depends on how long you
But
guys are
then
gonna
I'm
wait
not-
before landing.
Well, no. What I'm saying is I could have the tech adepts do it, but I'm a settlement. Just be insulting to me.
Okay, so then all you have to do is roll a tech use. And-
No armor.
Oh, is it armor? Yeah, that should still be basically the same roll, isn't it?
No,
No, they're different.
they're different for some reason.
Wait, is armor actually a separate skill? I thought it was.
Yes.
Yeah, it's trade armor.
Oh, I thought it was a sub thing for
crafting.
tech use for some
Trade
reason.
skills, because most of them don't make sense.
I think I'm thinking of the armor monger talent. I think those are both requirements for it.
Oh, I got that, and yes, that's why I have that.
Yeah. So
Wait, can
you
I not
just-
do this unless I have armor monger?
No, you can do trade armor. You just have to roll it. Armor monger is
rolled it.
just something you get to increase your AP of your armor.
Talent, not a skill.
I need to get that done.
Wait, so are you rolling to put it on, or was that a roll to get it?
That was to put it on.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying.
Because
Okay.
I'm assuming it's just mold.
Well, don't
I'm
have it.
assuming it's a forging thing more than. And I'm assuming I do this before I was introduced to them. Is the whole thing.
I got you. That's fine. All right. So, yeah, with that, so you guys are provided with the map. Charlie's getting their kit and stuff. At this point, there's 2 spaceports in it. One basically near the governor's palace, and the other one is essentially near the. Well, it's basically right outside of it. So here I can mark those.
So we are jumping in.
Probably. So there's the governor's palace, which is pretty heavily fortified position near the river and mouth of the ocean or gulf, I guess. And then the other spaceport is literally outside, and they're severely maintained by security. This city does have a lot of trade that comes and goes from the ports. The planet itself only has 2 orbital stations with defenses available. So you guys are actually cleared. So if you want, you can already just make planetfall and land on the spaceport side. The other option is landing outside of the city and then moving through the checkpoints to get where you want to go.
But yeah, I gotta say, if we are going to the governor's place, why don't we just drop on the place?
You can,
Get right
yeah,
there.
like there's a private spaceport there where
Drop
VIPs
on
can
it.
enter. You can't
wanna be
Because
loud.
you
drop
would
on
be
it.
rude. That would be rude.
You don't make combat drops into friendly areas.
It's called Sky.
It's not called skydiving. You know what they do to people like that? They throw them in jail.
All right.
So yeah, with the clearance you guys have, Inquisitor Thaddeus can just have everyone land inside the governor's emplacement and at their private spaceport, or you land at the normal one, or land outside the city. It doesn't really matter. So with that, yeah, if you guys get your gear together and you're fine with landing in the governor's area, you'll be able to do that within the hour.
Is it possible to like wear my helmet, just like have it on my belt or something? I'm trying to think if there's a way to do that.
Yeah, you can just have it with you. You don't have to wear a helmet.
Because I
Huh?
Yeah, you're cutting
But I
out
have no
really
helmet.
bad.
how's this?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, apparently if I stand in the kitchen, it starts cutting out.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm saying because my robes they're good, but I has no helmet. But I also have flat gear, so I just want to take the helmet from that, put it on, just to have.
yeah, you can put your helmet on. It's just an action to put it on and off. So if you don't want to wear it, you don't have to. You can just have it on your belt. And then if you want to put it on, it's just an action.
Okay, it's on my belt.
So with that, yeah, you guys head down. At this point, there's just a couple of Valkyries that are loaded up. Space Marines take one, Guardsmen take the other. Oak seems pretty hesitant. He's sitting there. He's got his mask on.
I'm gonna sit down next to Oak.
He's not even in it yet. He's still
Oh,
just
he's not even in
standing
it?
out, looking at the
Oh, he's-
Valkyrie.
I'm gonna kind of like walk up next to Oak and like put a hand on his lower back because I can't touch the top of it.
It's
I'm gonna go, I know. It's okay. You're only gonna be in there for a little while, buddy. You know what? I'll sit next to you. How about that? And I kind of come on. And I like I try to like grab his hand and kind of like lead him in.
At
There
that
is no
point,
darkness, for the Emperor is the light.
very fine point, priest. I mean, I don't know if you're going to get that through him, but he's not only an Ogren, he's an Ogren with head trauma. He's had some problems. But as you're like approaching Ludovicus, the other medic, he's just messing with some shit in his medic bag, and he goes, "What a marvelous trip we are going on. Proceed to enter a Valkyrie and possibly get in orbit and hope that their automated systems don't destroy us and we float into space in darkness and die." Oak's just like, and like Ludovicus didn't even miss a step. He just kept walking onto the Valkyries. He spit that out as he walked by.
I'm gonna slap him on the back of the head as he walks by.
Hey, what was that for?
And then and then, does he have his weapon on him right now?
Yeah, you guys are full kit.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna pull his weapon off of him. I'm like, you can get this back in 6 hours when I feel like it.
It's fine. I put things together, not normally shooting them. Just proceeds back
God.
on the Valkyrie. You just like you hear thump, 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 and even the Space Marines, like as the Space Marines, you guys are boarding, like Guy and Zevin, and even Octavius, like you notice some thumping, and you see Oak is just like kind of like walking away from the Valkyrie.
What on over there?
Oh God.
Thump, thump, thump. No.
Pretty sure with advanced gearing we can hear what's going on over there.
Yeah, you guys aren't that
watching.
far away. You can hear what occurred as you're like slowly putting up your gear.
Lucian's just like slowly going through his head, like wondering why the fuck he's even here.
Like at this point, Inquisitor Thaddeus is like walking into the hangar and he sees Oak. He goes, "Why aren't you on the Valkyrie yet?"
Space.
Yes, that's right, Oak. It's out there. Get on the ship.
Sergeant. There's space.
He goes,
Lucian's just gonna like he's gonna like take his big ass hand and he's gonna try and like start like leading him onto the ramp to get onto the Valkyrie, and he's gonna go, "Actually, Oak, it's not space. It's called high altitude. We're just in the air. There's no space. Come on."
Attitude. Good.
Very good. A lot of air. A lot of air for you to breathe, buddy.
Thaddeus just like kind of chuckles and mutters, and then you see him like pull a few like just some rations, like some protein cubes, and he just kind of chucks them your way, and he's like, just make sure he doesn't get hungry.
He's gonna catch the protein cubes and he's just gonna like hold one out and he's like, and if you sit down and you're real good, I can give you a couple of these, buddy.
And with that, he just starts stomping back towards the Valkyrie, and as he gets aboard, it kind of like the Valkyrie kind of sinks like a half inch as he like gets on because of the weight, much like a Space Marine would do.
But
And,
did you just offer him Scooby snacks?
Yeah,
Yes.
essentially, they're dopey snacks for the
I'm
ogres.
definitely gonna strap myself in right next to Oak and like as the trip's going on, I'm gonna slowly like feed him like the protein cubes. Like
You should name him the Professor.
What'd you say, Octavius?
Never mind. Continue.
All right,
like
so
the whole ride, I'm just feeding him fucking protein cubes.
So with that, they load up, everybody gets on. Thaddeus heads over to the Space Marines, and you actually hear someone in your squad. You hear Earwig, the operator. He's like, "Hey, Inquisitor, I'm the best pilot. Why are you getting on board there?" And he just kind of looks over at him and he goes, "Because in case of an emergency, Space Marines can be used as an escape pod." And he proceeds to walk aboard the ship.
This is accurate.
I'll pause just before I get on board and say quite a prayer to myself and walk on silently.
He looks at, Thaddeus is going to get on board, and Octavius is taking his equipment. Thaddeus nods to the Devastator, and then he looks over and he notices Black Templar Pauldron, Salamander Pauldron. He's like, "Who are you two?"
7 the Black Drake at your service.
Guy Albrecht of the Templars.
Fair enough. You must be relatively new. I haven't had your reports on my desk yet. Oh. Hurry up. We're leaving in 5 minutes. He proceeds on to the onboard ship.
I'm already on the ship.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
we have a
yeah.
Black
I would
Templar.
assume you guys were probably just stowing some gear or something. Whatever extra ammunition might be needed.
Yeah, I'm just having everybody use the las carbines and the flak armor, and then I'm taking 8 kilograms of demolition charges.
Good lordy. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't think we got any gear that like we wouldn't have on our person.
No, but like a just in case thing, like you might put a case of bolter rounds aboard the Valkyrie. So like your Valkyries won't come back to the ship. They'll go to the Krieg FOB so they could be on top of you in like 10 minutes.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So you might load like 10,000 bolter rounds onto that Valkyrie and they'll take it and have it at the Krieg base.
Also, everybody's taking 2 smoke grenades and 2 photon flash grenades.
Hell yes. I mean, if you run into anyone that has fucking helmets like the Space Marines, because them photon flash don't do shit to Space Marines.
And that's why you throw in the smoke and you just blind fight them. Duh.
But I did read the book and found something out about the smoke grenades. There is actually electronic chaff in them. You can't use thermals through the smoke grenades in 40K.
There's a difference between the smoke
Sweet.
and the blind grenades.
Yeah, no.
So the smoke grenade is just a smoke grenade. The blind grenade is what has the stuff in it.
No, they so that's the thing. They changed it. In Deathwatch it was wait, I don't know if it was Deathwatch or Only War, but they changed how they were. They made the smoke grenade both now at some point.
Ooh.
And I don't remember if that's for Deathwatch or Only War. But
Oh.
anyways, so yeah, all right, so you guys proceed down to the planet. There's like a small sandstorm going on, so the ship rocks a little bit. Oak is kind of, hyperventilating and wailing a little bit
When
as
the
ship
ship
rocks.
when the ship rocks, Lucian's gonna go, wee.
Jesus Christ! All right, just
I'm
gotta
trying to like get Oak excited about the fucking rocking ship.
Jesus.
I just tell him it's the Emperor's hand guiding us to safety. Don't worry about it.
Emperor?
Don't think about it. Shut up.
Just don't think. Just continue doing what you were
Hey,
doing.
you can't tell Oak to shut up because you're not on his Valkyrie.
No, I can't. It was a reference
Wait,
though, so
he calms. He says it over comms just in case. Tell the ogre to shut up. What? just
Wait,
just in case.
no, no, it wasn't in character. It was just a
Wait,
reference.
so which Valkyrie are we on? Like we're split up?
Yeah. So all the humans.
There's a Space Marine
the
Valkyrie and
Ogre
a
are
human
one.
Valkyrie.
Okay.
Yeah, because Space Marines take up twice as much space, so they might as well just get their own Valkyrie.
Well, yeah.
And that also means that like if they get shot down first, they might survive. You guys get shot down, some might. All right, so
I will.
yeah, the priest will. He's got faith. So with that, you guys come in, land aboard the the governor's area, and it's like just similar to like you would see in like the Middle East, like Marrakesh or like Egypt, like these large, vast like. Some of the buildings you can see are made out of like high quality like concrete and stuff from the Imperium and have metal sidings and stuff like that and are very advanced. And then you can see the slums in the distance and it looks like almost just like those mud buildings and stuff that people would make in like ancient Jerusalem back on Terra. And so it's like there's a very definitive line between money and power and rich and poor and poverty and everything like that in this city, like to a visual extent. In one area you see giant skyscrapers and lots of people walking around looking beautiful and looks like they're spending lots of money, and then in another area you see maybe 2 or 3 stories is the highest building and they look very dirt poor and some of the roads aren't even finished, like, so it's very significant difference. So with that, as you guys land, you guys unload and you're greeted by some of the planetary defense force. So, some of them are just talking to you. They wear very like hoity-toity like proper uniforms. Like they don't look like they are prepared to fight in the desert at all. Like these are not like people bred for war. It definitely seems like they have not benefited from this Civil War encounter.
I'm directly asking them if they praise the Emperor daily.
You ask a couple and they're like, "Oh, by as much as we are able to, we definitely do daily, yeah, as much as we can."
Emperor takes priority over your own life. Do you praise him daily?
I guess yes, we do. Some of them just kind of crumple and they're like, "Yeah, yes, we do, sir. Of course."
Good. I'll say a
But,
prayer for them.
You say a prayer for them. So I will throw. So I'm gonna throw a picture of them in the in-game chat. So they're just, like they might have some like las guns and stuff like that, but it's like very like metallic armor, like nothing that looks like it's gonna protect them from the heat. They actually look fucking hammered, like they've just been. You don't know how long their shifts are, but just looking at one of them, they just look like they're melting in this armor. But yeah, you see some of them are like essentially walking around, and then you also see like some of their like, so these are the guys that defend the spaceports and the governor's palace. These are basically his personal guard, and then you actually see some of the main body PDF, which are kind of more inspired close to like the British guys when they were colonizing Africa. So it's like very proper
Red
headdress,
coats.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Octavius?
No, I was saying fair. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just like that I made all the guards uncomfortable.
Yeah, you would
Don't ask me to
definitely make a few of them uncomfortable. So as you guys are, going through, Inquisitor Thaddeus is just immediately, he's like, "Let me speak to the governor. We have business from the Inquisition." Yes, by your word, sir. We'll introduce you right away.
You said it was Ludovicus or whatever, Weiss, right? That was scaring Oak.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn to Weiss as we're getting off the Valkyrie, and I'm gonna go grab everybody's kit. You're bringing it to the safe house.
Oh well, where does that be?
No, I'm just having him like grab everybody's like their rucks and stuff. We haven't designated a safe house, have we?
Mm-mm.
And I'll just look at him and go, "We'll find out when we find out, but you're gonna carry them until we do."
All right. So at this time, is so like yeah, like Pizel and Boris, they're probably gonna stick near the Valkyrie. Is the entirety of Charlie going with the Inquisitor, or who else is going?
Oh no, I'm not going with the Inquisitor at all. I'm gonna try and find a safe house. The Inquisitor does his job.
See.
That's the Space Marine's job to protect him.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
guess I'll follow point.
the jet belt black marine is going to step out of the transport for the record.
all right. So
I think I
Octavius.
should go with him because I need to invest.
Well, that's Octavius. So Octavius is second in command under the Inquisitor. So, squad leader Octavius. Who's going where? What are we doing?
Well, it sounded like. Sorry, who's the one who was just talking there?
Me, Lucian, the sergeant for Charlie.
You wanted to go where
I'm
exactly?
just trying to get a safe house in order.
Yeah. So
Do
you
we
guys
have any leads
Well, no, you
on a
guys.
safe house in the area?
No,
You
you'll
literally just got here.
Yeah,
you'll have to either talk with locals or maybe see if someone inside the governor's palace has like information on that. You guys do
Sure, I'll
currently
send
have
the-
50,000 credits at your disposal.
I'll take it.
I will. Exactly. I'll send the Lucian and their retinue to procure us a logistical safe house
I'm
for
going.
this endeavor.
I'm gonna also recommend Sandilius go with the Inquisitor because he's gonna be my representative there.
Okay. So right now the priest,
I-
you wanted to go with the Inquisitor priest.
Go because I want to make sure that this governor's not a heretic.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Because
agree.
if he is,
You never know.
I'm gonna pat him on the back.
he
and
is. I have to cut his head in half.
Only in half, not quartered.
You gotta count the
No,
rings. That lets you know how much heresy was in there.
It's hard to quarter someone with a power sword in their head. You want to cut it in half then.
So Octavius, would anyone else need to go with the Inquisitor, or what do you want to do?
What does our librarian think here? Does he have any preferences?
I have no strong opinions. I'm just guarding the Inquisitor.
And our newest recruit, Lubrecht?
All I know is I've been requisitioned by an Inquisitor, so I guess I'll follow him. And the librarian.
All right.
Right then.
Yeah.
We're all going with the Inquisitor, other than Lucian, who's going to procure us a safe house.
Yep, and I kind of wanted it this way because I'd rather not be
Okay.
seen with the Space Marines. So if I can make it seem like we're two separate groups, that works out great.
That would probably be the best approach as well.
I'm just going to wait for the inevitable being called a witch.
being called a witch.
Yeah.
So right now, Pizel, the apothecary, and Boris, the tech marine, they were just gonna suggest staying at the Valkyries. So unless you wanted them to tag along with the Inquisitor or go with Lucian, they were just gonna hold tight there.
I'll have them keep an eye on the birds for now.
Okay. All right. So with that, Octavius, Ulbrich, Zevin, and Sandalius proceed with the Inquisitor. Lucian gets his guys together and proceeds into the city. Is there a specific area that you were going towards, or were you going to talk to someone in the governor's palace before you left?
I was trying to find out if I could find anybody who knew, like, I guess, like, possible places I could use for a safe house.
A
Kind of
realtor?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know if that's what you'd call them. But
So you just asked some of the guards, like, "Hey, do you have someone who does this kind of thing?"
yeah,
Yeah, one of them's like, "Yes, if you go to the governor's head office on the north side of the the facility. He goes, there's an area there where people apply for permits and stuff like that and get, business loans and, stuff like that permitted. So that area, if they had something available, they'd be able to narrow it down for you. So,
Yeah, I'm gonna head over there then.
all right. Yeah. So you guys proceed to go. Marcus is basically close to you. Goes, so what's the plan, boss? What are we doing?
Well, we are going to escort Inquisitor Octavian here to verify the governor of this planet and to make any necessary arrangements for our mission to come to fruition.
Understood. As well, I'll keep close to the sergeant. We'll keep in contact. So, yeah. So with that, yeah, you three go with the Inquisitor and the priest, and then Lucian starts pushing off with his guys towards the administration building. So
I'm gonna do a nice good old fashioned squelch on the microbead to see if Octavius responds on his own comms. Make sure he knows I can talk to him and he can talk to me if we need to.
yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yes,
So
I assume we have a particular channel set on our Voxcaster.
yeah.
or
So
microbead.
the sergeant has a direct communication to you. If another space marine wishes to talk to the guardsman, they're gonna have to adjust the setting. It's like a half action. But so right now comms are set up for the best, like most expeditious like action.
Yeah,
So
squad
yeah,
and then the squad
yeah,
kind of-
you can talk to everyone if need be, but Lucian can only talk to you, and his squad can only talk to him, and then the Space Marines can all talk to each other. And if you need to, you can adjust it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so as of right now, the only one who has a direct link to the Inquisitor is Octavius, unless someone else switches it to something. Yeah, it's not like a world ending, like let's get a tech marine in 2 hours to fix it. It's just a quick switch on settings, but it's just done like that as default, so people don't have to worry about it. So yeah, you can directly talk to Lucian and you guys proceed out. So with this, Thaddeus proceeds into the building. You're greeted by multiple guards, and it's pretty much your standard like political stuff going on here. So with that, as you guys are going in, you see a very large individual with some augmentations and looks like a lot of imperial jewelry and stuff. And he proceeds forward, breathing. He's like, Inquisitor Thaddeus, like you can almost hear like the frustration in his brain already as he sees this individual. And the very large, robust man comes forward and he goes, "I am Hoopin
He's
Caldenton."
pooping?
He says, "I am helping." It's like Hoopin. That's his name. I don't name these people. Well,
Yeah, you do.
actually, technically, I mean, shut up. But that's his name. So he says his name is Hoopin. Freak, I can't remember this last name to save my life. Cal Denton. I don't know why I keep forgetting it. But he says he is Hoopin Cal Denton, and he goes, "I am the current governor of this fine planet." Inquisitor
How a lump
Thaddeus,
is he?
he's a big boy. Inquisitor Thaddeus is just evening governor, because I am Inquisitor Thaddeus, direct sent from the Arbinger. Goes, we are here to do your evaluations on your tide playings, your tributes, and to also evaluate the current order of your domestic civil war. There's no worry here. Feel free to travel around and look. We have nothing to hide. Very well. It'll just be that the eye of the Inquisition is here, and nothing can evade its gaze. It was, if you would allow me to have your ear for a few minutes, me and the Priest here. I have a few questions for you. Yes, by all means. If you would be so kind as to allow my Space Marine cohorts here, who are accompanying me, to take a look around, that would be most gracious. Goes, yes, by all means. Do they require an escort? Thaddeus looks back at you guys. Squad lead, do you require escort?
We do, or is he asking?
He's asking.
No, we should be
Does this?
relatively okay, unless you perhaps happen to have just maybe a single adjutant that could guide us around the familiarity of this city, as it's unknown to us.
Goes, seems reasonable. Governor, do you have a single person who can show them so the Space Marines do not become, well, I don't want to say lost, because I'm pretty sure they'd be able to find their way. But it would make their travels more efficient. Yes. Use one of my darlings here. Avicius, come here, girl. You see this frail, dark-skinned girl come up and yes, Sword. Goes, take these angels of the Imperium around and show them our wares and all of the beautiful things on our planet. Yes, my lord. And she walks up. Please follow me.
Lead onwards.
So with that, Thaddeus and the governor and Sandelius, are you staying with Thaddeus for his conversation with the governor, or do you want to go with the Space Marines? Okay. So you proceed into the room there, and then the Space Marines are led off. So as you guys begin to take a look around, are there Space Marines? Are you guys just full gear, like helmets on and everything, or are you taking a helmet off, putting on more of a personal show?
Well, my helmet's off, but I'm in my armor because it's really good, because it's really flashy.
I also think I know what happened to all the tides. He's eating them.
He's eating the medals and the guns and the people. He's eating all of it.
Wow, that's gonna tell.
Sure.
I would have my helmet off as well, though keeping it kind of like the standard under the arm,
and
making sure it doesn't get stuck to anything.
Mine's on.
For the record, our helmets can attach to our waist via magnetic bullshit.
Yeah, you can magnetize it or hold it. I mean, either one. It's the same amount of time to put it on, because you have quick draw. But yeah. So as you guys proceed through, so Lucian, as you're approaching, you're reaching an administration building. There's huge lines. Picture that scene in Futurama when the guys were applying for their permits. The one guy's applying for his birth certificate and he was 89 years old.
Oh god.
Yeah, so it's long lines like that, but you can already see a few people are waving you over to a side, and as you approach, they're like, we were advised that you were coming over. We have a representative available to see you now.
Fantastic. Where would they be?
Just inside. He describes there. It's like an administration. There's a few offices, and he says, the third door on the left. He goes, would you mind having at least, some of your men wait outside? A full squad in here is, pretty absurd.
Oh, yeah, I'll leave them all.
All right.
I don't think I'll need any backup inside your offices.
So with that, as you proceed, one of the guys walks you in. The rest of them are just kind of sitting there. Oak is just kind of looking around and smelling the air and stuff like that. And the fucking medic is over there. Well, the second medic, I should say, because Ducky, he's still out of it. You can hear him kind of muttering to himself and hitting his head every once in a while. But for the most part, he's kept it pretty good together. Marcus has been wrangling them all in, keeping an eye. You've lost track of Ordo and the vet. You haven't seen them since you landed.
Yeah, I'm gonna transfer over to my squad comms, and I'm just gonna go, Vet, Ordo, where you at?
You hear 2 clicks from both of them.
I give 2 clicks.
So with that,
That's good
yeah,
to me. They're alive. That's good enough.
Earwig the operator, he just hung out at the Valkyries. Same with Celebrimbor the tech, because I mean they're the pilot and the tech. That's kind of where they thought they'd be needed, so they just hung out at the drop
Yeah.
ship.
But I look at Corporal Marcus and I kind of just like give him a nod, like you're in charge until I get back.
Oh boy, he sounds super enthusiastic about it as he just like stares around at this clusterfuck.
And I and I specifically point at Ducky and I'm like, watch him.
All right, understood. As you proceed in, you go and take a couple turns, and then you go through the door. And it's just a nice individual. It's like an obvious, like when like you go to visit some places, they put their most attractive anything out. So it's like a very attractive woman, like definitely she doesn't work here during the week, but she's here today. Kind of women, like so it's like weird. Like she seems very like staged, but she's talking to you, and so she goes, "Oh, welcome, sir. How can I help you?"
I need a building.
Okay. You need one built. You need to. What exactly?
No. I need one to stay in for a little while.
Oh, okay. Well, I think the lowest amount we have is for a month. What kind of building are we looking for? Residential? Are we looking for commercial?
You got any like abandoned factories or something, or warehouses?
I mean, yes, we have multiple that are available for at least a month's lease.
You got any that got a clear space around them? Good sight line from windows?
Well, that might be tricky, sir. This is a very urban environment. Most of the sightlines and most of the views are actually blocked by other buildings. In some areas, the buildings are within 2 feet of each other.
Whatever space you got, I'd prefer that.
Because, well, there's at least 4 available within 45-minute walking distance of this area. One is a warehouse, no upper floors, roof access. It has been very mismanaged. The other one is a old mechanics repair shop that worked on civilian class vehicles. Has a residential area set on the second floor, and has a ground floor that had 3 car garages. Because the last one is seems to be just a vacant lot. I don't know if anything is actually still there. It seems that there was a building, but it was deemed for demolition months ago.
And what's the cost?
So it looks like the cost of the lot would be the cheapest. That'd be looks like 2,500 credits. Looks like the garage with the residential area would be the most expensive for 5,500, and it looks like the warehouse would be somewhere around there. Looks like about 3,500.
I'm gonna kind of like sit there, mull it over for a little bit. I don't know. It sounds like I'm not saying this out loud, but it sounds like to me, the empty lot sounds like a good place to make a fire base.
Could
I'm
be.
thinking like a guardsman, not an operator.
There's definitely no blending in. That's for sure in an empty lot.
No, there's not.
Sees an open lot. Oh, well, we'll put some mortars in that bitch.
Dig some fighting positions,
Get a sandbag
Like
wall.
fucking 5 foxholes there. What are you talking about?
Look at that.
Put some camo netting over top.
What about that 2-story building right next to it? That's nothing. We'll bring that down too.
That's what we got Space Marines for.
The reconstruction asset.
But no, I'm gonna like Lucian will kind of look up at her after he thinks for a little while, and he says, "I'd like to see the warehouse in the mechanics shop, and then I'll make my decision if that's all right with you."
No problem at all. We can schedule something. Someone won't be available till at least tomorrow. That's our earliest.
Would this lady know what Lucian's involved in, like the Inquisition?
It roll. Do you have scrutiny?
I do not.
I mean, you can roll it at I think that's one you can roll at a -20. Or is it a -30? I think it's a -20. Yeah, you can roll it at a -20.
Defaulting.
I don't know, man.
So close.
She's helpful. So you don't. I don't know. She's not putting off any reason you'd think she would.
Yeah, no. Lucian's never really had an opportunity to, be the big swinging dick in the room. So he's gonna look at her and go, "Well, the Inquisition thinks otherwise.
Oh.
I want somebody in here now."
Well, I'll try to see who we can get, sir. But it's just because we have everyone else already out in the field. But it
Well,
would
bring 'em
probably
back.
be at least 4 hours.
How fast can they run?
That's with them using cars, sir. I'm sorry.
Well, get them here as soon as possible.
Understood, sir.
I got
Well-
work to get done.
No problem. We'll go ahead and write this down, and we'll get them to you as soon as we can. And you're happy to wait on the spaceport by your Valkyries.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
we'll wait out there.
No problem. Well, if you need anything else from us, just come on by.
You got it. And he's just gonna walk out of the office.
So as you were leaving, the guard left, so I guess he assumes you can make your own way out. But as you're leaving, you hear footsteps behind you. It kind of catches your ear as strange because they're quickened, like someone's walking up behind you.
He's gonna turn around.
You see the vet, full gear, just kind of trying to catch up to you.
Where have you been?
Busy.
Yeah, look, we're gonna have to improve this relationship because I'm not gonna take busy as an answer, considering I'm your NCO now.
They were watching us
Where at?
since we landed.
Yeah, but from what positions?
There's an
Just
observation tower. She starts calling out places there's an observation tower, and then she noticed outside of the wall on a 7-story building on the 5th floor there was individuals in a spotter's nest that were watching you guys. And then she says 14 individuals not in PDF gear have been watching your squad the whole time. She goes, they're definitely some kind of security because the PDF pay them no mind, but they're not in PDF gear.
Where's Ordo?
He's on top of the hangar.
All right, go join up back with him. See if you can find anything else. Just send me some squelch if you find anything, and I'll try and get over to you. I don't want anybody monitoring our comms, so we'll do it in person.
Understood. You see, she just opens a random door to one of the offices, and you hear shattering glass for a second.
Whoa, what the fuck?
And
He's just gonna shake his head and keep walking.
it's nobody can catch her, or maybe they will. Who the fuck knows? So with that, we'll go back to the Inquisitor. So the Inquisitor Thaddeus and the Governor coming in. There's a few guards with you and the Inquisitor Sindelius. The Inquisitor sits down. He goes, "Well, Sindelius, please take a seat. Relax. Well, this might take a while."
Alright, fine. Not feel comfortable sitting, but alright.
As Governor, we are here mainly for a few issues. We are here to evaluate the domestic civil war. It's completely under control. The blasted rebels are just trying to make trouble. Nothing we can't handle or haven't before. Because we understand that. We're just here to make sure that the Imperium receives their payments on time and in due process. But also dealing with that, we have noticed an increased amount of wealth being developed for your family and this planet. And with that, the agreement stated 1,500 years ago were said that we would receive a specific percentage, not a specific amount, not a designated quantity, percentage. So, with that, we are here to do another evaluation. Your Imperial agents have done numerous evaluations. All of our finances and all of our funding are put forth and shown openly. I understand. Well, we're going to review those, and the 5 Imperial agents that I know have done reviews on your planet that still live here. Which surprising to be that an Imperial agent who travels the galaxy and does interviews and reports for the finances of the Imperium would retire and proceed to live on this arid environment. What can I say? People love it here. It's a paradise.
Paradise?
Get out.
He says, understood. As well, first we're going to get out of the way is Sindelius, our priest here, is going to evaluate you and see if you have any thoughts of a heretical nature. And Thaddeus just kind of looks at you and goes, well, priest, if you had any questions for our governor to deal with this and his faith, by all means, proceed. We will talk about finances after you conclude.
Well, first of all, why do you think you're right to deny the Emperor a proper amount?
We deny no emperor anything.
That's not what I asked you.
I feel that I am meeting exactly what the agreement arranged, which is what has been proven. I have kept up my faith and my barter.
Butter?
Barter, sir, I'm sorry. But yes, we do have the finest goats and butter. It's a breed of chicken and goat that hails from Terra.
Okay. Let's see. And how often do you take part in holy rituals here as governor?
Seeing as the agreement, we actually aren't bound by the faith. We are essentially in a long-term peace treaty with the Imperium. I myself, though, am a devout believer of our God Emperor. But it is actually not law on this planet for such things.
I didn't ask if it was law or not. I'm asking how often you personally are taking part in holy rituals as a devout believer of the Emperor.
Every day. Every day I thank the Emperor when I awake for providing us with the technologies to allow me the life I live.
So you're saying every day you go to a church or see a priest of some sort?
Yes, of course. I have a priest who lives in the government's palace. I also have a chapel just outside the main gate, open to the public.
How long has it been since your last confession?
It has been 1 day, sir.
Well, let's do another one right now.
Okay. Are we getting full on religious here? I don't want to do a confession. Where are we going with this?
I'm just trying to trip him up.
It's hard to talk like this, man. I'm giving myself asthma.
Okay. Hey, I've done worse when I
Oh.
DM'd.
All right, what do we continue? Keep going.
All right, let's see here.
Second hand asthma.
Oh man.
Well, since I've never been here before, tell me of the horrible sins you have done in your past, including gluttony.
Including glutton. Does the Imperium
right to the
follow
point.
those? I don't know if the Imperium follows that kind of stuff.
Is he consuming too many resources that should be going towards the Emperor's armed soldiers?
That's the thing, though, is that like they've had governors like that. I don't know how they feel about obesity. Is it like Judge Dredd? Are they going to throw people in jail?
I just want to know if he's taking more than his fair share that should go towards other followers of the Emperor, not so much as law, but as a devout follower of the Emperor, is he taking more than is due?
I don't really know how that works because essentially that's personal because personally he has enough wealth to where he can eat whatever he wants. Now necessarily he doesn't have to meet a requirement to make sure all of the people on his planet are fed.
Yeah, I don't know where you're getting that one.
I'm just trying to trip him up and trying to get
No,
rattle him.
he would explain it just like that.
Okay.
I personally can dine on the most valuable things because of my hard work and dedication to the planet and the Imperium. Unfortunately, 10% of the planet is poor, but my wealth would not resolve that overnight. It would not.
And how often do you expunge heretics?
We have never dealt with open heresy before. The closest is these rebels calling for governancy.
For the record, when he makes the excuse that his wealth would not help, that the salamander is going to be giving him a death glare.
So you guys are actually going with that little skinny girl are
that
leading
lady.
you guys around the palace to have a look around.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Microbeat's not off.
If you tell the salamander about that, then he'll get pissed.
No, I think the microbait has been on the whole time.
Yeah, that means Lucy could listen in. I mean, I guess you could broadcast it to
Yeah,
the Space
no,
Marines. I don't know if it would
after-
be necessary though.
Now,
Yeah,
after hearing
I don't
that
think you would do
motherfucker
that.
talk,
You'd
Oh
have
no,
to.
I'm not
you-
expressly broadcasting to them. I'm on essentially one of our open channels.
Yeah, you'd have to ask Thaddeus if that's okay though, because technically it's an inquisitorial interview.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm doing confessional. Yeah.
you can't. Yeah, you can't broadcast. That's a dumb. You. There's no one on Twitch live streaming confessions in a church.
You
There
would
are
be
now.
surprised. You would be surprised.
Oh, bless.
But okay.
But
all right,
I mean,
all right.
You can report it back to the Space Marines if you feel like it's
Alright.
important information. Yeah.
Anyway, next thing I'm gonna ask him was
I gotta catch my breath talking like this guy.
hey, one time I spent about 10 minutes talking like I still had pneumonia because a character had his lung collapsed.
Jesus Christ, who's talking to him that long if his lungs are collapsed? I would have killed the
I
guy.
had to do a speech.
All right. So
Character.
what are we asking him now?
Sorry. All right. I wanted to know: would he resist if the emperor's Inquisition required a greater amount to be tithed to them?
If we went into negotiations, we would do what we think is fair. At this time, we deem those percentages are agreeable, and both sides say yes. If they wanted to increase it, they could. But that is not something in the Inquisition's power. And Thaddeus nods. He goes, yes, that's true. One of the representatives from Terra would have to come or speak with them over communications to warrant an increase or decrease in percentage.
Right, but also he's dodging the question again. I didn't ask what the official government stance is. I asked him, as a devout follower of the Emperor, would he resist if the Emperor's Inquisition or the Imperium required more of them? Would he resist in any way?
What he specifically answered it as is that he would do if he was asked for more and he thought it was fair for both parties, he would say yes. That's what he said.
Whatever's fair is whatever the Emperor decides.
Yeah, but not necessarily. You got to keep in mind that we don't own these people. They are not part of the Imperium. Technically, they are allied to the Imperium.
Yeah, but I'm also a priest. If you don't follow the Emperor, there's something wrong with you.
Well, that's unfortunately a moment where the governor does personally follow the Emperor, but technically the planet does not. The planet is just allied.
What I'm saying is, in a negotiation, would he be more leaning towards what we want rather than, because he's a devout member of the Imperium? Of the Emperor?
If the Imperium requested our help and needed increased tithes, we would pay them happily. But we would not do that at the cost of our own people. But we would happily give all we can.
I'm turning this guy over to you to finish up here. I'm gonna think on this.
Fucking priest is running into a politician and it hurts.
Oh no! I have stuff in mind. I'm doing a whole read between the words thing, and I don't like them.
Alright, so with that,
My mind is thinking heretic but clever.
so Thaddeus
Isn't
proceeds
that
to
everyone?
keep questioning him. At this time, the frail, like, dark girl was leading the Space Marines through. Every time she'd, like, kind of look back to make sure you guys are still following, even though she could easily hear the footsteps. And every time she looks and one of you makes eye contact, she, like, kind of shudders and looks back and keeps walking. Because, this Imperial Angels, these are the halls of my master. They, protect us, and there's very fine artwork and statues and depictions of the wars that have come and gone, and our unification with the Imperium, the discovery of the metals. All good things, all good.
I'll stop and remove my helmet.
Tidius,
You could relax, speak freely.
I speak freely. I speak freely. Master's tech's all good.
Does he, though?
He does. Keeps us safe from the rebels. Rebels take, rebels rape, rebels kill.
Can you tell us more about the rebels?
Rebels, they some out in the mountains. They attack traders and smugglers alike coming down the roads. They kill everyone, take what they want. And they say they want to be the governor. I don't like this. They'll steal and kill everything. Not like the master.
Where do we find one of these smugglers?
Smugglers come and go, meet at the markets. Smugglers hire mercenaries, protect them from the rebels. Traders hire mercenaries too sometimes. Pay them in water and on occasion. Water's like gold. Precious, precious water.
I guess I'll just turn and glance at the librarian like, this bitch is cooked.
So, with that, she just proceeds to lead you guys down. She talks every once in a while, tries to describe stuff. You can tell she's just not that educated. She's probably had a whole life of labor. She's probably from some kind of like mining camp or something. She got bought or some shit like that. Who knows? But she's just like, she tried to describe what like a painting was of, and there'd be like a plaque with exactly what it is. It's like, oh, the battle of such and such, where this amount of people died, and she would describe it as a ceremony of something or some sort, and she's just nowhere near what it actually is. So,
Are there any depicting the salamander stuff that happened in the planet's history?
salamanders.
You said at the beginning there was like a salamander, like a team came down and.
Yeah, she
Didn't kill
doesn't
any civilians.
understand what a salamander is. She doesn't
No,
get
but
the
would
context.
we've seen that in? Would we've seen like any pictures with that in?
Not yet. So, I mean, it's probably around there somewhere. If you ask her, she doesn't know what a salamander is. She doesn't know them like as that.
I'm back, and he would,
Here's the library.
and the salamander would inform her what a salamander is.
Okay. What
was going on though? I was AFK, so I was just assuming the priest was going to go on, so I made a sandwich.
That's a
I
good
took my
call.
helmet off. I asked her some questions. She said, "There's people up in the mountains. The rebels are up in the mountains. They attack smugglers and shit. And she's pretty fucking scared and cooked." And then I asked if we'd seen any salamander like portraits, depictions on the walls as we've gone past.
Yeah, not yet. And she doesn't know what a salamander is.
Yeah, the salamander will say, I am a salamander. They are my chapter. This is what we look
Oh,
like.
sorry, I wasn't saying that in character. Like, obviously, wouldn't ask her. She's just a human. She wouldn't know about Space Marine. She wouldn't know what the fuck she's talking about.
Yeah,
She,
well,
obviously-
like,
she doesn't know anything. So
yeah, when you say salamander, she's just confused. And then when he says a salamander is what I am, a space marine, she's like, oh, the great ones. And she starts like about damn near running down the hallway. So you guys,
Well, I guess follow her.
yeah, let's go.
so as you guys thunk behind her, like Weeble Wobbles, she, stops and you see a large, like 15 feet up, about 75 feet wide, this large painting, that is beautiful, amazing painting. I mean, it rivals even some artwork that you guys have seen in the books. And there's just 15 salamanders in like older armor, nothing crazy. I mean, it was only 1500 years ago, so the armor's not that crazy out. And they're, full green salamander. One of them has no helmet on, and he's jet black with bright red eyes. And you see all their equipment, and you see them surrounded by about 150 corpses of, what look like the locals. And you see there's horses and stuff that are dead too. And then you just see what outside of that area of the dead, there's like 100 feet of flat space, and then there's like thousands of people who are just bowing to them and have thrown their weapons down. She just goes, the great ones, green armor, great ones.
I will compliment the work on the painting, as even if it wasn't the salamanders, you kind of have to enjoy a good painting.
Yeah, but you're like, I don't know, like someone had to paint this like the day after. Like it's too accurate for it to have been worked on later. You know what I'm saying? Like someone did it like that day, or someone did it like a month later or something, because it's really accurate. They got everything right on all the salamanders' armor and stuff like that. Like you on a couple of the salamanders that are closer to the perspective, like they're in the foreground, you can even read what's on the purity seals on a couple of them.
It was me.
So
Someone had an impressive recall.
was the great
Impressive
ones.
recall.
Yeah, they could remember what happened. She's just, you can see her like almost praying to the painting and like muttering to herself.
Oh.
Ew.
Damn.
I'll tell her she doesn't need to pray to us. We are but the Emperor's instrument.
She goes, great day. Chased away the bad rebels. Slaves were freed. Welcomed into the Imperium in bright light. Roll an awareness check, actually, for all three of you. See if you notice some details on the picture.
If the heightened senses would matter for that, that's a plus 20. So
Is that just a basic Space Marine thing? Yeah.
Yeah, you guys get plus
It's
20
fair.
to those.
oh, we plus 10 because we're not wearing helmets.
Oh, yeah.
that's
If you
right,
have your helmet off, yeah.
Can't I the roll box up? Look.
And that's why you never take your helmet off.
Oh,
That's why.
Octavius is just like, yeah, that's nice painting. He's just kind of
So 2 degrees on 7 then, because I didn't add the plus 10.
gotcha. And I'm just waiting for the Templars.
It won't let me fucking roll my awareness.
Okay. I found a fix for this. Go to that cog, and there's a Firefox compatibility mode.
Oh, shit.
What?
Not
You see
sure
the
what
cog
it
on your
is.
sheet? There's a Firefox compatibility mode.
Or you got to use Chrome.
Or you gotta use Chrome.
Okay. Go.
Oh, that cog. Oh.
Right next to Psychana.
Me. Alright, I'm going back to Firefox then.
fucking science, man.
Ain't no tech marine.
I ain't afraid of no
Ain't no
ghosts.
tech marine.
Well, there we go.
All right. Oh, okay. So 2 degrees, 2 degrees. All right. So, yeah. So you guys are able to notice that some of the, what you thought was like a mound of corpse with the salamanders, you're noticing like a few here, a few there. You actually see people among the salamanders. And you can tell that some of them are bloodied and had been fighting as well. And they're standing right next to the salamanders. Some of them don't even have a shirt on. They're holding like a shovel, and then there's some that are just, they have a gun and maybe a flak vest. Like you can see that there's just what looks like armed civilians standing side by side with these salamanders.
I'll chuckle. Salamander neophytes.
No, it looks like we are the civilians of the planet. That does seem like something we do for those willing.
That's what I said. Neophytes.
They're conscript. The salamander got conscripts. But yeah, so you notice that, and then she stops. She goes, great one here again. Another rising, another freedom. Bright light comes upon us.
Oh shit.
Senses are tingling.
Could you tell me what you mean? Also,
You-
to be fair, when the salamanders are involved, bright light's kind of a default.
You free us from now, masters. We become masters. Free us, make right.
Was it divine intervention or was it a meltagun?
It was,
Joke's on
was
you,
m-
it was a flamer.
yeah, it was my brother's. It probably involved fire somehow. And he is going to ask her to tell him what exactly has been going on.
I mean, she just gives like a brief overview of, so essentially like indentured servitude or slavery. Like, there's a group of people that are seemed as lower, and people buy them and trade them. Like the thing is, it's not something that's not allowed in the Imperium. People do it
Yes,
all the
but
time.
to quote the character's uncle, oh, that I hate.
But yeah, she describes stuff that you've heard on numerous planets before, something that's inbred in human nature. Or is that? Can I use inbred in that manner? I guess.
Inborn.
Yes,
Inborn?
No.
or just bred into.
Bred into, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, she just describes very shitty living conditions, and
Ingrained. That's the other.
There
word.
we go.
there you go, ingrained. But
So business as usual.
you guys actually hear a few sets of footsteps. You see some palace guards are approaching. Like, you, little one, run off to the master. Governor sent us to finish the tour with the Angels of Astartes. Goes, yes. And she's bolting, like gone. Like hauling ass down the hallway.
It's gonna cock an eyebrow at that.
These four guys approach and they're like, I'm sorry about that, my lord. Because, if you would follow me, we are here to make sure that your tour is concluded, and then meet you back up with the governor, if that's okay.
I'm gonna do an awareness check and see if there's a camera or something that was watching her do that.
Okay. Yeah, you can roll awareness.
Put your helmet back on.
I'm gonna put my helmet on and look for cameras. Yeah, no, you don't see any kind of camera or anything like that. Oh, excuse me.
Oh,
Yeah, but there's no
I'll
camera.
let the squad leader take back the floor, because if not, I may start threatening these people.
I'll don my helmet as the guards come.
Octavius, what are you doing?
Just noticing one of my companions here looking around, and I'll ask him over the microbead, what are you alert for?
I will put the helmet on after he asks that to so that I can do it more privately, because you can actually block sound out in the helmets. And I'll fly. I'm looking for cameras to see if she's in trouble for telling us of this.
I see. Did you find any?
None that I could tell.
What did you think of this story she told?
I think the elites of this planet are terrible, terrible people. But sadly, the Inquisitor may not allow me to deal with them.
Yes, I guess that is no surprise after the state of the planetary governor that we saw. Perhaps we will be able to find at least something that we could improve upon here within the context of our objectives.
I have a question. Would you say about now would overlap as to when Lucian was talking to the vet?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if that's the case, as I'm going back towards my squad, I'm gonna come over the comms to Octavius and go, yeah, they've got unmarked personnel watching our every move. Be on the lookout, and then stop. And then
Right, I will click twice over the microbead. That's kind of a
Okay.
yes. And I will go back to my other comms with Savan here and let him know that, well, it doesn't seem like we might have noticed the cameras, but the locals have definitely made us to at least some extent, and I would not be surprised if we're being tailed this very moment.
I'll just pop up. Something doesn't seem right about that. Civilian fighters nestled in with the Astartes formations. That doesn't happen. I don't know salamanders, but unaugmented humans in Astartes formations get battered around just by reloading.
I could see brothers of my chapter arming those who are willing to fight.
But are you skilled enough in combat that you can operate your armor and not strike any human that's not in your line of sight?
I would hope so.
They were pretty close.
Yes, I would hope so. That they'd be able to do that.
That would have been unheard of in the Templars.
Templars don't forge their own weapons and make them extensions of themselves.
At the very least, I think Octavian should be made aware of this. Clearly, all is not quite as it would have seemed here.
For the record, knowing that now, I will approach the 2 guards that came up to us. 4 guards, and inform them that if anything happens to that girl, there will be a reckoning.
Well, I do apologize, my lord, but that's unfortunately not your dictation.
Just roll and intimidate. You heard the man.
Yeah, I'm about to say I will make it my dictation.
Do you want to roll intimidate?
Yes,
I
I
do.
do.
I want to roll it. I want to roll intimidate as well.
Who does it? Oh my god, you guys.
These aren't Black Templars.
What the hell do I roll to resist that?
I think willpower.
Willpower.
Just base
It's an
willpower?
opposed roll, yeah.
Okay. They're intimidated.
They want to also put their chests.
Roll a
Roll and
58.
intimidate at both.
And do I get a bonus from the fact that my chapter has a history of fucking up their soldiers?
No, it doesn't. Yeah, no, it's not needed. I mean, they're intimidated by you, but they still stand by the statement. Like, they're speaking truth. So it just really is. You know, it's one of those moments. It's like you can scare the shit out of them, but unfortunately, if the governor wants to take a brick and bash that girl's head in, you're not going to do anything. I mean, you
If the
could.
governor takes a brick and bashes that girl's head in, I'm going to set my sword on fire and stab him.
Yeah, but that's the thing. So then you would
Probably
have performed a heretical act by killing an acting governor of an imperial
I'll take the
allied
fucking
planet.
black shield. I'll take the fucking black shield.
That's not a black shield moment.
That's an execution.
that is like, especially with the Inquisitor like present.
That is just
Like you are on
face.
inquisitorial orders that action like that is opposed. And I mean, that's those moments that Space Marines have to combat. There are cultural differences in planets that sometimes you have to eat the sand. Now, I don't think the governor would have any reason to kill that girl. But if you go around trying to say, you know, nothing can happen to that girl or else, the governor can just laugh in your face, kill her, and then if you kill him, what does he care? He's dead. And now a Space Marine died. He gets to die a fat ass that killed a Space Marine.
I could kill him, or I could work to convince the Inquisitor that we should support the rebels.
That's the goal. That's the goal there.
Exactly.
And then
using
when
the
we have the
political
and
stuff.
then when the but here's the thing when we have the Inquisitor supporting the rebels, then I stab him because he's technically a heretic.
See, but you also messed up by getting the little girl killed, so the little girl never gets to see the rebels succeed.
But the Inquisition has stated that if the rebels do have claim to the governancy. They said that. So if they are the choice that can guarantee the tithes and the payments, then the Imperium will back the rebels. They don't care.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, but
that's
here's
not
the thing: if the little girl dies, I can make the governor's heretical death slow.
That is true. You could have him switch to be an enemy of the Imperium.
What?
I mean, that's long game, but it's possible.
Wait. Why don't you just take the girl as a tithe?
You can't do that. You're not
I don't.
help. I'm being repressed. Yeah, that's about right.
I mean, I'm pretty sure like Space Marines can do that kind of stuff. Well,
Technically,
they have
The-
tithe world, so.
Yeah, but
technically, I
that's
could request her
you're,
as a chapter serf, I guess, but
yeah, but
there's
that's
no reason they would agree to that.
yeah.
Yeah, but you have no like right to this planet for like getting serfs.
Yeah, you're
Like,
you're talking about
It has to be a recruiting.
I basically have to be rolling a high fucking charm to do that.
yeah. Your only option would be like, I think she can prove herself as a Space Marine, and then everybody just looks at you and they're like, what?
No, chapter serf. I would have to recruit her as a chapter serf. Is the thing.
I don't think she can read and write, but that's fine. You got to start somewhere.
Your chapter serfs don't have to read and write.
They just have to carry weapons.
Yeah, they get taught to read and write over time. It's fine.
All right. So with that, yeah. So
Jesus.
yeah, that moment. You guys are following these 4 guys.
We need a custodian here because no one can get in their way.
It's never gonna. Why would they say
well,
that's
unless
OP
we're-
of OP.
Yeah, they send a Custodes to Jericho's Reach. Why?
Unless this is Pet Post Dark Imperium, I don't think they're gonna leave Terra.
Just throw a Custodes in black armor and be like, yeah, he's a Death Watch member. What are you talking about?
So,
Are we in the TTS universe?
okay. So the Space Marines are following the.
Well, no, if we're in the TTS universe, it'd be one of the naked guys.
So the Space Marines are following the 4 guys, right? Lucian's on his way back to
Yep.
his squad. So once you get back with your squad, Lucian, are you guys just heading back to the Valkyrie to hold up?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and like gather everybody up and bring them back over to the Valkyrie. I'm gonna leave Oak outside of the Valkyrie because I know he does not want to be in there, and he doesn't really have the brains to understand what I'm about to tell my squad anyway.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get everybody inside and seated. I'm gonna tell Weiss or Weiss or whatever he can fucking drop all those rucksacks he's been carrying.
I just don't understand why I was carrying all this equipment.
You gotta get strong. Now sit the fuck down.
Then what is he for? And he points over to Oak. He's like, what about him? Or the Space Marines at all?
Yeah, but you're the weakest one in the squad, so you know we gotta get you a little beefier. Now sit the fuck down.
I'm stronger than that little girl. There's no reason I weaker. Sits down.
Talking little girl.
So as I got him like seated on the sides of the Valkyries, I'm just gonna like stand near where the ramp is, and I'm gonna look at all of them and I'm gonna go, "We're being monitored. I want everybody on their best possible behavior. When we find a safe house, we will enter it, and we're gonna scrub every possible thing that could indicate us to be members of the Inquisition or the Imperial Guard. Every insignia will be removed, replaced, whatever you have to do."
Out of character, I just want to point out you pulled the Inquisition card earlier.
Yep, that's before I realized we were being monitored.
Bit late.
I think you're a little late.
No.
I'm in the
We're-
Inquisition. Okay.
We literally have Space Marines from the Death Watch. There are too many
no.
symbols to get rid of.
No. I'm not talking about the Space Marines. I don't have any authority over you guys. I'm just talking about these mooks.
He's talking the fucking boots, man. The guardsmen.
But yeah, that's pretty much this little spiel I'm gonna give all of them. Like, nobody do anything. Like, don't fucking go somewhere where you can be watched. Like, none of it unless I'm leading the way. And then I'm gonna tell them that the vet and Ordo are currently trying to monitor those who are doing the same to us, and then I'm going to go and see them. Everybody else stay in the Valkyrie.
All right.
And then I'm going to go to where they're at.
All right. Yeah. So you come down. The ramp. Oak is just kind of standing out there. You see the
I'm gonna
Tech
throw up
Marine.
some protein cubes before I leave.
Oh. The Tech Marine is like, he's just, he sees you and he kind of nods, but you can see he's just doing like maintenance on some stuff. And the apothecary is just kind of tending to his like, equipment. They're just kind of keeping an eye out, not doing anything. Oak's just looking off at the skyscrapers nearby. We're gonna jump over to the Space Marines again. So
Just real quick, as I walk by the Tech Marine, can I like kind of just look at him and be like, if you wouldn't mind checking the Valkyrie from time to time, I don't want whoever's watching us slipping some explosives onto the Valkyrie and killing my entire squad.
No problem. I'll do my best to make sure it doesn't implode with shields.
I appreciate it. And then just keep walking.
Yeah, I'll jump to the Space Marines. I'll jump to the Space Marines. So the Space Marines, you guys are following these 4 guys. They kind of same thing. They literally are just walking by stuff, giving you a moment to look at stuff if you want, and then keep moving. So there's just 2 in front of you, 2 behind you. One of them makes a comment.
So,
Hmm?
go ahead.
one of them makes a comment of, do you feel unsafe, Angels of Death? I noticed you donned your helmets on once we arrived.
Yes. Well, we just had some business to attend to. Make sure our sensors are properly calibrated.
Meanwhile, the salamander is fuming under his helmet.
Just open a private Vox channel because we don't trust you wankers.
I would like to burn this city.
Who would have thought the Black Templar would be a fucking Knights Templar? Like, he's so proper.
I do, yeah. And also in character, he will say to the Templar, though I do admit, I do appreciate your shared anger towards these people.
My chapter might have a reputation for not giving a fuck about civilians, but she didn't do nothing wrong.
Your chapter literally shelled a refugee camp.
Okay, and we also lost 75 Marines trying to save another fucking Astarte chapter. Sometimes you got to accept the losses.
You shelled a refugee camp my chapter was protecting.
Damn.
This is not a good spot for
When was
philosophical debates. This is like Japan arguing about
It
It was the
Hiroshima.
Third War of Armageddon.
Oh, okay.
that-
So this was
that has
like
not happened yet.
Okay.
Oh, this hasn't. Okay, never mind. This hasn't happened yet.
It happens.
Then
8
I have
years
no
from
beef
now.
with him yet. Okay, then I have no beef with him yet.
we figured when he was doing his backstory, he found that out is when the date of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Third
yeah.
War was.
Yeah,
I wanted
didn't
to be.
know
I
about-
wanted to be
didn't
in
know
that. I
about
wanted
this.
to be from there. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I was also going to be in that. So
Yeah, in character, I'll say, if you must know,
Hey,
I was in the Varadon Crusade.
well, think about it like this: you guys have something to look forward to.
Hey guys, maybe you were in it, but world travel shenanigans, you went back to it before it happened. It happens.
just later on.
They're just gonna be there later. They're gonna be
Later
dead.
on, he just goes up to him and is like, "Brother, what the fuck?"
That's where the stories of Ulbrich and Zevin end. Is the fucking third battle for Armageddon.
And now that depends, because we could actually like each other, right? Because he could have been part of the salamander element dropped on the dockyards at Hell's Reach.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then there's still fucking shelling a fucking refugee camp. The salamanders are
But
protecting.
we also fought alongside civilians and defended them. We
Hey,
just
man,
weren't necessarily in formation.
It's grimdark, But so as you guys are proceeding,
Tucson, just as a note, Tucson flat out fucking punches Halbrecht for that.
so
Yeah.
as you guys are proceeding, you guys are going, and you wouldn't even need an awareness check. So you actually see the girl again, and you can see she's like sitting on the ground, like down a hallway, crying, and one of the guards like stops, and he's like,
The salamander is going to break off for the record, head down that way.
So you just step in front of this guy and start moving down there?
Yeah, how is he going to stop me?
All right.
Magic.
Yeah, the four of them back off, and you start going down there. I think Kathor
open up
stepped aside. Did you want to go with him, Ulbrich, or are you standing back with the squad?
No. I'll just gesture between them and sorry, librarian. I can't remember your name again. I'll just get in between and say through my speakers, let's continue the tour.
All right, so the four guys are like, but Space Marine, we have to attend to this worthless thing down this hall.
Don't worry about her. I wish to see more photos and more material from remembrances of your great deeds.
Understood, my lord. Follow me. Yeah, and they start leading you off, and Octavius starts walking. I'm pretty sure Octavius would just mutter to stay in comms contact, and you guys start walking down the hall. As you approach, she's just sitting there crying. What do you do?
He's going to remove his helmet, attach it to his side, and kneel beside her and ask if everything's all right.
She's just like crying. She goes, "They hurt me. They make me do bad things."
He is going to offer a hand and tell her she's with him for now.
Roll awareness for me, real quick. Make sure. Ever watchful space marine-ness.
I mean, if they attack me, I can attack back, so...
That's definitely true, yes. And I would hope they brought something better to the party than a fucking las gun, because that ain't gonna go through that helmet.
Yeah, shoot him with the flashlight.
Yeah, shoot, blind him. He's got epilepsy, right?
So I failed that awareness roll.
That's fine. So, you reach your hand down. She's like bawling, and she holds up what looks like some kind of homemade rigged explosive. She goes, "They told me to kill the Great One." There's an explosion. We're gonna go to the Inquisitor and the priest now.
He just used a fucking child explosive on you.
I'm just going to point out, they just attacked me. I can do what I want now.
He's like, when I survive this, I'm gonna murder. I'm gonna murder.
I very much doubt an IED is going to take down a space marine.
Well,
Depends on what kind of IED.
Yeah, I mean, we're hoping it's like some kind of shitty demolition charge, but if it's a melt-a-bomb, you could be gone.
You said it was homemade, right?
You did have your helmet on.
Yeah, it's like
and were
some
crouched.
homemade stuff. So it's gonna be.
I think
it's gonna
if
be
it's homemade. I doubt it's a melt-a-bomb.
No, it's definitely not on
who's
par.
home?
It's definitely not on par with a melt-a-bomb. But if someone had if there ever wasn't a good way to take out a space marine is giving a child a melt-a-bomb. If you're gonna take out a salamander,
To be fair, that only works with salamanders, black dragons. Otherwise,
No.
you just the
hey, you might get an
guy's just
ultramarine.
gonna
You might
cap
get an
the
ultramarine like
child.
that.
the worst
The ultramarine will cap a child.
the worst part about all of this is if you would have passed that awareness check, you might have been able to save her.
No. If he passed the awareness check, he would have seen that she was holding something. I don't know if he would have thought it was an explosive, though. That he would have noticed she was holding, like cradling something. That's it.
This poor child.
Oh, it wasn't a child. That's a grown woman. She's just frail. Yeah, she's
a child compared to the space marines.
Who isn't?
I mean, she's like probably in her 20s or something. Yeah, it wasn't no like 12-year-old or something like that. It was like an adult, but she was like a beaten, like frail, like slave thing. But anyways, yeah. So that happens. We're going over to the Inquisitor. So, priest and Inquisitor, you guys have been going back and forth with the governor for a while. At this time, the governor is just, we need to take a break and get refreshments, I think.
Okay. Already?
Oh
Really?
yeah, like at this point, it's probably been like maybe 45 minutes, almost an hour.
Yeah, so I'm saying to him is like, what? Really? Already?
Thaddeus is just like, well, at this rate, I see that these are going to take quite some time. Because we'll take a break and we'll proceed to read over the reports that you're providing us. We'll see what we can do from there. All of a sudden, you guys actually hear like someone like shoulder ram through the door, and you see about 6 individuals just begin shooting towards the governor and you guys. Thaddeus just immediately like pulls you down behind the desk. These just look like, they're just robed individuals shooting like las guns and auto gunfire. The governor, you see him flare up with like a shield as he's like pushed out essentially by PDF forces, and one of the PDF forces gets shot in the back as he collides to the ground. Thaddeus just draws his sidearm and proceeds to get ready to push up to open fire, and that's where we're going to stop there for you.
Okay.
I mean, unless you're trying to say something to the Inquisitor.
No.
So, Lucian, as you are walking down the ramp,
But why didn't they just roll him out instead of pushing him? It'd be easier.
probably he's still on his feet. He's not on a floating chair or nothing. He's not that
Still-
fat yet.
No, you just push him over and roll. It's easy.
So, yeah, Lucian. So as you're coming down, you talk to the tech marine, and Oak is standing there, and he just starts like kind of waving, and he goes, "Waving," and he's just pointing towards one of the skyscrapers.
I look at the skyscraper.
So from there, you can actually see there's like a guy who's kind of like giving hand signals to somewhere, and you see there's a mounted like weapon that's next to him, and you hear a really rapid succession of like las gunfire come from off towards the hangars, and then you see that firing position light up as a heavy bolter begins to rain fire down at the Valkyries. So,
All right.
that's where we're gonna end it for today, because I don't think we can kick off these fights and get them done in 45 minutes. So,
But it's only been 2 hours.
It has only been 2 hours.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think we can get all the fights done. So we'll stop there for tonight. It's going to be kicking off. Essentially, what's going to happen is, you guys are all going to roll initiative, and we're just going to jump back from fight to fight and just fight them all at the same time, because they're all happening simultaneously. So, yeah,
What?
fucking
thunder.
Zevin's getting blowed up, and we're gonna have to see what's going on if there's other
Yeah,
combatants.
Can we just deal with that so I don't have to wait a fucking week?
No, because that's what's kicking off your fight, and we don't know if
It's a
there's other
cliffhanger.
people or not. Yeah, it's cliffhanger, man.
We are spread pretty fucking thin, guys.
We split the party pretty bad. But I
It's-
think I'm most likely to survive because I'm with an Inquisitor.
It's okay. You're just dealing with rebels, or governor
Yeah.
people. Who knows? I don't even know who's
Yeah.
attacking you at this point.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
It might be everyone.
Yeah,
I'm definitely having Erwig fucking take off in the Valkyrie.
Like, I
Like-
still can think that the governor is a bit heretical, but these guys opened fire in the room I was in, so they are heretical.
Well, those guys, you
think-
can
I think-
tell.
I
You
think
can
it's
tell those
everyone.
guys were attacking the governor. They no one actively was shooting at you. All of those 6 guys were shooting at only the governor. So you could tell that. So
So my
If-
theory, I add a character in my theory. The rebels were here to attack the governor. The governor was going to try to kill off the Inquisitor, and it just kind of got together.
you think the
Yeah.
rebels? Okay, so the rebels are assassinating the governor, and the Inquisitor just happens to be there. And the
No,
governor.
the rebels.
Huh.
No, my bet is that the rebels were going to assassinate the governor today,
Okay.
and the governor was trying to assassinate the Inquisitor and his troops. This all
So-
got tangled together.
So you think the bomb and the heavy bolter are the governor, and then the guys attacking the governor are the rebels?
What?
Yes.
Did he think we were going to take his storage of peanut butter?
Take all this. He thought you were going to take his Big
Well,
Mac.
the reason I think that, and again, this is an out of character theory,
Oh yeah,
is
yeah,
because the governor did. You guys did mention with the governor that he is
Fat.
that the other guys who came here to him retired to this planet.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
stayed.
Well, so like over
So
the
I'm
years,
out
out of all
immediately
the people-
suspicious of that.
out of all the people who came and investigated it and stuff, out of all of them, the last 5 had retired here. So yeah, that's what ticked Thaddeus off. Thaddeus thinks that he's bribing the inspectors. That's what he thinks. And
I think he's killing them.
really,
eating
so you
them.
think he's killing? Okay, well, I mean, we'll figure that out if
I don't think
you know,
he's
if everybody
eating them. I
survives.
think he's killing them, getting rid of the bodies, and then just
Yeah.
saying that his summer home is their new home.
Yeah, how do you think he's getting rid of the
Possible.
bodies? He's eating them. They're right there.
It's like when people claim like Social Security for like their parents when they pass away, they just bury them out back. It's like they're still alive. They still giving reports,
Like,
Man.
aren't they like 140 by now? Yeah.
right? Yeah, that was something that happened in one town. This guy, his mom. Oh no, it was in Japan. They were gonna award his mom with an award and a check because she got to be like 132 and was the oldest citizen, and she died like 20 some years ago. And he was like,
Big
You know, this was supposed to be a light mission, and I feel like we're in more danger here than we ever were at the tower.
No, you're fine.
What, you think there's more danger here than dealing with the freaking direct heretics that were selling to the Xenos?
Talk to anybody who's been deployed to a fucking city in Iraq, and they'll tell you it's way worse.
Urban combat is the most stressful environment you could ever be in.
I'm trying to give that Middle Eastern dealing with Taliban vibe, and I think I've established it.
You forgot the big call to prayer. Oh!
My biggest problem here was like, I was ready for the urban shit. I was not prepared for them to directly assault the palace.
Oh yeah.
So for the record, at this point, the salamander wants to burn down everything and then just let the citizens take control.
I just want to tie the planetary leader on treadmill and let him sweat to death.
I just want to get off this planet because I have no idea what I'm doing here. Nobody's told me nothing.
You were told when the game started.
Yeah, what he said.
What he said.
You're here to spread imperial peace, man. You know,
Imperial
love thy
peace.
neighbor and stuff.
Yeah, I think that fucking that guy on the heavy bolter is severely underestimating what I can do with a long las.
Really, our whole reason for being here is we are that
Did you-
Inquisitor's retinue.
I have to check their sheets. Did you take Ordo's long last?
He had a heavy, not a heavy. He had a hot shot las.
He had a hot shot.
I let him keep it.
Ooh, hot shot.
Good job. And what did the vet have? She
I-
had a long
All I
last.
did was throw a las carbine on everybody. And then
You know-
I changed their armor, and then I was gonna try and go through and add the smoke and photon flash to all of them.
Oh, you changed the vet's armor?
Oh, I changed all of their armors.
Yeah, she don't wear leg and arm, and she
Oh.
don't wear a helmet.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
then I guess that's
she's
all
just-
zero.
I mean, she also can't take the last carbine. She can't take that amount of weight. She's fucking small.
Oh boy.
Her weight capacity is like 9 kilos.
Oh,
Off the record, next time I will happily carry any of the guardsmen's stuff for them and then hand it over when things start up.
Oh yeah, that's no
Hmm.
problem. Yeah,
Yeah, I just
normally
got-
she just takes the long last or knife and then the last pistol. She also has that chest rig, which, I mean, that's her get out of jail free card. If she doesn't want to be captured because she's little and female, so most things that capture people like that don't do nice things to them. So she'd rather blow them the fuck up. If there's ever a moment where you need a Carnifex taken out, she probably has the answer. What the hell did I set the damage for that thing to?
4d10 plus 10 pin 4.
Yup.
Yeah, right now the salamander wants to burn everything.
Yeah, this is
In the
This is-
salamander.
going to
I
be the
don't
next
think an
chapter
IED
of this campaign. It's gonna be great.
Ooh, it's gonna be-
I don't think an IED will kill them, for the record.
Probably just it might hurt a bit,
Yeah, it
but
might
I think
hurt.
it'll piss you off more than it will hurt.
Yeah, basically.
Hang on a second. Let me just check something here real quick. Gonna flip a coin here and okay. But the result says, well, I did bring my bolt pistol. I did not bring my ammunition.
Why? What?
Why would you
I
not
flip-
bring ammunition?
I flipped the. I don't think about it. I'm a melee guy. I don't.
If you want ammunition, you can have ammunition. I wouldn't do that to you. It's
No.
because you're not gonna change the world with a bolt pistol. It's okay.
On the bell.
I mean,
I don't even have the skill. I'm not even proficient. I just have one.
I mean, if depending on your initiative, if you go first, you can just cover that ground. You're in a small room, so to be honest, you're in a pretty good position because you're a melee guy.
I should have pushed taking a jump pack.
I don't know how that would have benefited you indoors like this.
Well, if
I mean, I guess you could still use
when
it
we
in
start
the
next time,
Mhm.
Yeah, we can do a charge attack and it would have added
No,
damage
he
to
wants
the
to
charge.
Mario the ceiling.
Yeah, I guess you couldn't. You can go up, but yeah, there's no reason you couldn't go forward.
It's literally a thing you can do with it. You can use it to assist your charge.
Yeah, no, I know how it works and stuff, but I'm wondering, like, in enclosed spaces, like, would that require a piloting test? Because you're trying to jump.
I have pilot. Well, I'm not trying to jump. I'm trying to boost forward, and it is described as assisted boost forward as well.
Yeah, no, I get that, but I'm saying is because you're still essentially using the jump pack to propel you across the ground, and you have to regain your stance. I don't know. I don't think there is a role for that to be able to use it with the charge, but I know there is one if you're moving. I don't know.
Like if you're using it as a flyer.
With off-road aeronautica, it allows a space marine to move at double speed and make short rocket-assisted jumps and limited duration flight. So it also lets you move at double speed.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is that normally you only have to make the test when you're like doing stuff like out of the norm. Which I mean, that's what I'm wondering is like doing that in an enclosed space like a hallway. Well, do you have to roll for that if you use it for?
I mean,
charge?
I would have. I literally bought Upright Aeronautica so I could roll for it.
I got you. So you think that you should though in a moment like that?
Yeah, I should have brought it. Is what I meant.
You know what I should have done?
Oh, okay.
I when I went to see the governor. When he talked about getting refreshments, I should have like pulled out and just opened a bag lunch to see his reaction.
Where the fuck? Wait, like just a mess kit? Like just some fucking guardsman rations?
Yeah, just to see his reaction. Well, I'm saying a bag lunch, have like get some
Cornstarch bar.
recap, a sandwich or something. Yeah,
He'd
chocolate butter.
probably just like nicely insult you about the quality of your food and then talk about
Yeah, but at least
how
it's-
much great stuff he has in the other room.
Yeah, but it's food that's right here that I don't have to reach for.
It's like, but there's nom noms here, Governor.
See,
Yeah.
Also, we still got to talk about the concept of a Force Thunderhammer, which is apparently something that can be done in this game.
Yeah, so
So-
like I
Oh,
would just
But
do
Force-
that. I would
Force
just
doesn't
do
overlap
that as
power.
a. So like I would just do that as a Force hammer. So it'd just be you wouldn't have the penetration of a Thunder hammer because the penetration would be your psi rating.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Doesn't
so,
your psi rating get added onto it though?
No.
I thought it added onto it.
no,
No,
like
that's
a
how Force
Force
works, isn't it?
sword is your it's like 1d10 plus psi rating, and your penetration is psi rating.
yeah. You get your psi rating on damage and psi rating for your pen.
Yeah, now it does give you the stats of it if you use it and you're not a Force capable person.
Force
Ah.
capable? What?
Yeah, if you're not psyker and you can't
If you're not
use
psyker,
Force
you
Yeah,
can't.
weapons.
when you say force capable, I think Star Wars.
I mean, that's what it is
You
that you're
also-
imbuing your psychic power into the weapon to make it better. So it's that's what it is. It's force powers.
Yeah, they're based off lightsabers. They're in the bloody name, the Force swords.
I mean, 40K came out in like
But-
84, so I mean, it's around the
That's-
same
But the
time.
thing is, I'm not even joking. As an inquisitorial asset in this game, you can take something called arcane weaponry, which lets you add or remove a single effect to a weapon.
And also, dude, it wasn't the same time. Star Wars came out in the 70s.
Was it? Oh, that was like an 83.
No, that was Return of the Jedi.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And one of the options for arcane weaponry is force. It does remove the power field, though.
Yeah.
I will say
Yeah,
that.
so if you lose the power field, you
Makes sense.
lose the penetration on the Thunderhammer.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm looking at because eventually my penetration is going to be good anyway.
Yeah, so that's what I'm
Oh
saying
my.
is that you can just eventually make a force hammer, and so it'd be the same.
Yeah.
It would be the same damage as a thunder hammer, but it's not going to have the same pen.
Yeah, but which I want a Thunderhammer for a reason. 2d10.
No, dude, what you do
Yeah,
is you
so
get
like
two.
the
get two
the
shields
force
and put
weapon would
force
be
on them.
2d10 plus your psi rating, penetration psi rating, and it would be unwieldy.
Dude, get two shields and put force on them.
Yeah, but they suck for hitting
Here,
people with.
heavy Thunderhammer, 3d10 plus 15. Then you add your strength bonus times 2 for unnatural damage to that weapon.
And they don't suck.
That's
You
the
just
thi-
gotta not
Yeah,
be
that's
shit.
the thing, though, is that it's like all that stuff's given by like the power field, the unnatural strength. Like even for the power fist, the unnatural
power
strength and
fields-
the penetration comes from the power field itself.
Let's see. What I'm wanting is to keep the unnatural strength bonus thing somehow.
Yeah, but you're not going to be able to if you make it a force weapon because you can't have a power field.
Yeah. So I guess I'm just using a regular heavy Thunderhammer.
Yeah, because I mean, you could not because it's like even if you did the force hammer, and it's like 2 or 3, whichever, you can do a normal one and a heavy one. If it's 2d10 or 3d10, you get to add your psi rating plus your strength bonus plus the penetration is your psi rating. You can still do the force. What's the attack called where you just do it straight to their wounds when they have to make a willpower test? Is that called something? I can't remember.
You mean the one that I showed you, or not a different one?
No, the base one that every psyker gets for using a force weapon. They can just roll a willpower test that's opposed.
Oh, you roll a 1d10 and you add that to as energy damage, basically.
Yeah, but it's like an opposed willpower test for it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Heavy Thunderhammer, 3d10 plus 15, which is more than I can get in psi rating, and then 14 pen, which again more than I can get in psi rating.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna run around with a giant ass hammer, I guess.
Does
You're
anyone
just
know
gonna
where to
get a
find the new
Thunder
equipment
Hammer?
too?
Yeah,
What was
because that's what.
The new equipment 2 book. Where do I find that?
No, I couldn't find it, but I've just been using what's in the Only Astartes book. So
Yeah, the only Astartes has all the freaking Space Marine
Can't
stuff.
figure out what the phase thing does on the Xenophase.
Phase.
also I can make it a makeshift power weapon still.
Yeah, it's just that
because of that salamander bullshit right there.
Yeah. Just a quick question. Like when it comes to this map, where exactly is the heavy bolter shooting from?
So you guys landed like essentially like on the edge right here on the southern side, and
So it's one of these this like big one right here or something.
yeah, it's one of those outlying buildings. Yep.
Oh, they're fucked.
Yeah. Well, also,
They're not even fucking surrounding us. The fucking retards.
no. It's like you know, Ordo and the Fed have just come under fire because there's no one else over by the hangars, and it's just not a coincidence.
I'm gonna be really annoyed if I gotta burn a fate point next thing.
Oh shush! How many do you have? Like 4?
4.
Yeah, shut up. You're fine. I'll make you burn 3. I don't like you.
See, because the only thing I'm thinking is like, hopefully
fate
Ordo
points.
and the vet can like hold themselves together until I can get over there. But whoever that fucking heavy bolter guy is, I'm just gonna fucking shoulder the long lads and blow his brains out.
Man, Oak has none of his fucking
Here's the
hero.
thing: if I don't have to roll a fate point in that next turn, and whoever blew me up is now charging, I am going to shove a force sword down their throat.
Yeah, because that's the thing with your situation is that friendlies pushed down the hallway. Now they're only like a half move away. They literally can take like 4 steps and be back to where they can see you. But yeah, you guys actually don't know if the guys who are with you. I mean, 4 guardsmen. Who gives a shit? Those guys aren't going to kill your friends. I mean, unless they have bombs, because then 4 bombs going off. That would suck. But
Aloha Akbar.
yeah, that's very unlikely. You guys would have seen the bombs already with the amount of awareness checks you did.
You know, you were saying before this session even started, you were like trying to do like an Iraq city kind of feel, like urban environment, and it never dawned on me. I was like, fucking IEDs and suicide bombers.
Well, here's the thing.
'cause-
I didn't expect a forced suicide bomber.
and you know what's funny is that like you guys were like, you guys thought it was a little girl, and I said
No,
woman.
I
from the
knew
get-go.
it. No, I knew it
It was
wasn't a
woman.
little
That
girl.
was me.
Yeah,
That was
I know,
just
it was
him.
Lucy.
I knew it was a little girl. I knew it wasn't a little girl.
I was like, God damn.
If it was a
I'm like,
little girl, I would have just had her on my shoulder the entire fucking time. And when they told her to leave, I would have told them to fuck off.
oh yeah, no, but it's yeah. I mean, yeah. I was like,
Oh,
it's just. I was like, I had some vague stuff planned, and I'm like, it was the thing was is I so 100%. I knew I was gonna have people watching you, and when you guys split up the way you did, and I had to split up the people watching you, I knew I was like, okay, this is a pretty good time to attack, right? And I'm like,
Well,
Like,
here's
if
the
you're
thing.
ever- if you're ever gonna- if you're ever gonna hit some Imperials or a Space Marine, this is the fucking time. Like,
if Zevin's not dead, they're going to be very, very regretful in a second.
oh,
no, see, the problem that this heavy bolter guy's going to have is my long last has the accurate quality. So if I shoulder it, do a half aim, and then shoot at him with my fucking custom grip,
My,
pretty much can't miss unless I roll a 100. And number two, for every 2 degrees of success, I do an extra 1d10 of damage.
my Force Sword has proven too because salamanders are fucking OP.
So
yeah,
Yeah,
and,
now
and that's
that-
like, it's like
fuck.
if you guys are able to do it, if you guys are able to get it, it's like I'm not worried about overpowered characters and stuff because
Well, no, I just get that by default. That's the passive.
you get proven too. Is it for like only melee weapons or what do you
Hang on, it's from Only in Stories. I'll look it up real quick. It's fucking stupid.
My turtle's begging for food.
How many animals do you have, Ace Ventura? You got like 5 dogs, 3 chickens,
2
a
dogs.
turtle. You got like a bunch of shit.
2 dogs and a turtle.
Okay, so
Oh, is that
solo
it?
mode
Swear
abilities
it's
that
okay.
work.
Hmm?
Abilities that work only in solo mode work at all times. They represent your chapters and abilities, so you may still have a number of solo abilities active at any time. You may have any number of solo mode abilities active at any time, but most have a limited number of uses or other restrictions. I'm going to scroll down to the Salamander's chapter solo ability. Fireborn. Add proven 2 quality or remove unreliable, unbalanced, or unwieldy from equipment. Passive. Always active.
So you're choosing to take proven 2.
It doesn't have unreliable, unbalanced, or unwieldy.
Makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
So all my weapons have fucking proven 2 right now because none of them have any of those.
What's
Oh,
proven do again?
It means that if I roll a 1, it counts as a 2 on damage.
I
yeah,
thought those razors were sharp.
no, Razor Sharp
It's proven.
is if you get more than I think 3 degrees of success on a melee hit, you double your penetration.
To be fair, most of the chapter solo abilities seem to be passive or once per combat.
Yeah. I mean, the ones for like some solo abilities are really good. Like Guy has Bolter Mastery. So it's like in this situation, he would benefit from it because I don't think Kathor has any kind of squad mode ability that's going to be more beneficial than plus 10 to hit and plus 2 to damage for a Bolter.
Oh, side question. You said I can. What's the required action to put my helmet on?
So
You said I have rapid. Ah,
Yeah,
damn,
so
sorry.
if it's on your hip or in your hand, it's still a full action because with quick draw you you put it in the hand as a free action, so it just doesn't matter.
Unless you're a space
Oh,
marine,
damn.
you gotta seal the damn thing.
Yeah, that's why it's a full action to put it on. To don or to don off a helmet is a full action because you basically reseal it. Now you had your helmet on last time.
I had it off because I was trying to be nice to the.
Oh,
woman.
you took it off when you approached her? I didn't even hear you say that.
Yeah, I took it off when I approached her. So
Oh, that
That,
sucks.
that face is gonna be a little darker shade of black after this
It's
explosion.
gonna have shiny bits in it. But I mean, most of the damage is probably just going to be resulted. Yeah, it's because remember we don't do the random hit location anymore. unless you do a called shot, all shots hit the body. And
Oh, then I have 17 armor
you have 17 in the chase? Are you talking about with your toughness?
with toughness.
I was about to say,
I
I'm like, God
would have
damn.
had 9, but I rolled, rebuilt, and destroyed and rebuilt, which I rolled above a 7 on everything except the body, which I rolled a 3 on. So everything went up 1 except for body, which went down 1.
Yeah. So you're just 8 across the board?
Yeah, just 8 across the board now.
I mean, that's fine.
And I'm just basically fluffing it as well. He rebuilt a suit of Mark IV, so he probably had to reinforce it using some bits from the body.
Let's hope those spot welds hold up.
Yeah, really.
Gonna bust a
So
scene.
in his backstory, it was basically he lost his first power armor during one of the time of trials, and then when he was picking out one from the armor, a new one from the armory, he found a Mark IV armor that was just completely utterly wrecked, but it had this ancient history, and he was like, "I want this one. I will rebuild it myself. I want it."
Yeah, it makes sense to me. Shit, why not?
Literally, this
off.
This is armor
Alright,
that
see ya,
has
Jay.
been in Esteban 5.
Yeah, it's yeah. I don't because I don't know how explosives are supposed to resolve their damage. I think it just all goes to one spot, but I have to check on that.
Literally destroyed for centuries, and he reforged it, and now it's his baby. Like, I'm full on going to request if I ever get Artificer armor, if I could just upgrade the armor I currently have.
Shit, yeah, should be good. Oh, here, hold on. I'll be right back. Gotta step away for a second. Whew. Oh, that was a session and a half. All right. Well,
Where is it? Fucking. There was some Artificer armor in Templars.
they're still talking in the background. I just muted Discord. But hey, anybody's watching, thank you for tuning in.
It's still like that.
Hope you enjoyed
Apparently,
the
both our
campaign.
guys are going to be at
Oh lordy, they're still going.
the Third War of Armageddon, basically going, "Yo, what the fuck did you do that?"
You guys are gonna fucking know each other beforehand, and then just be like, "Wow."
I gotta
Literally, right? The fucking
I gotta
drop.
mute them for a second. They're too friendly. These people are too great. They're too friendly to each other. But yeah, so sorry if it was only, me showing an image of essentially the city map. But we had a few pictures posted in Discord. I'm gonna get their stuff for the governor and for their guards and stuff like that. They're gonna be in the game, so we'll be seeing those tokens and stuff like that on the map next week. So I have, probably half the maps already prepped. And I was ready for an engagement in basically 2 of the locations, but there was a third, and so I'm gonna have to get that map together, which is why I didn't want to keep going. I know what I have planned for the Salamander and those Space Marines there. I know what's going to happen with the Inquisitor and the Priest, so we are basically going to roll initiative and go one turn after the other, going in a loop, essentially treating it like one full combat. So this might take a session or two just to get through this combat, but it should be kicking stuff off with a bang for this chapter of the campaign. We're going into the city. It's like a Marrakesh like style, Afghanistan, Iraq kind of thing. So it's touching with some of these guys, because some of these guys are military, and it touches with them. They're going to be a little bit more aware, and they seem to be enjoying it. So we're going to make it dramatic. We're going to have betrayal and all this stuff. So it should be real good. But tune in if you can. We're going to do this every Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern, till about 12. Today we did stop it a bit early because like I said, we weren't going to get through this combat. I wanted to go ahead and make sure that we had time to get in there, start going, and we left it on a cliffhanger, so it's great. But thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you next week. So it's Gordo out.